You want to come over here? Yeah, just come up here anyway, behind the lawman. But you're going to have to turn around somehow. I don't think you can get on here like that. No, you can't get on here like that. But you can pull up on the shoulder and record. Yeah, pull up on his left shoulder. Yep, I'm like son, you passed few quick. And you might want to hurry up too. And just pull out the camera like you're recording.
Okay, didn't hear that part, right? All right, good.
All right. On the freeway though.
All right, dope. Hey, Paul. I wanted to say, this guy, dude, he's wearing a Puma shirt, but he's barely clearly seen. He's in the middle of daylight. He doesn't even have a.
Know where you are right now?
Yeah, I'm in the middle of the woods, dude. I'm looking out for Pumas every day. This dude clearly doesn't know where Pumas reside, and he's not acting like one. If you were a Puma in broad daylight, you would be dashing about, running around.
You appreciate it, and if it continues, you will not be welcome here.
What do you say
Calcutt's here
about that, little bitch boy?
I got some investigations I'm doing on that guy. Pino, what's going on, dude? Let's hear it.
Much alike.
Hey, you know what? I'm not going to continue your games. You can either grow up, give me. I'm trying to cooperate with you. I went and pulled the video up. I'm asking you what are you looking for? What is your deal, dude? You're missing the point of what is actually happening here today.
Thank you, Talcott. Shout out to Guru Talcott. If you don't know him, that's Jack Talcott. The always somewhat suspicious.
It was a big transsexual. I don't know.
Strapping, handsome, and aging man without a home.
Damn it.
I'd like to see what transcot would look like, you know? Transcot, that would be interesting. Can we do
I'd like it for you to speak up so I could hear you, dude. Come on, dude.
New levels of...
Can we maybe, like, get that to be an episode?
When you shut up, you'll understand.
Transsexual Talcott would be a great thumbnail, I'm just saying.
Feminine bitch energy. It's this feminine bitch energy. Feminine bitch energy.
Talk about feminine bitch. Freaking, what happened to Jack? Jack Harlow was coming back.
Feminine bitch energy.
And meanwhile, Paul keeps making claims about Jack. I mean, like, you know, whatever, dude. You said Jack was coming back, Harlow. And I think that your whole point of focusing on Talcott so much is that Jack Harlow disappeared, bro, and nobody really knows where he is. So you focus on Jack Talcott to bury the lead.
Dude, Jack.
Is that what you're doing, sir?
You get to receive what you receive. I know what I'm offering. And I'm offering, well,
crack.
I don't know. Thoughts, Chandler?
Jack's back with a brand new sack of crack.
You're an idiot. You're not listening to anything I'm saying.
Macking and ransacking on slaves. Yeah, we should get back to the video. That's a good point. Good to see Noble Savage back. Wow.
If you get past your fucking conclusions.
You got to get on the freeway when you make a right on here, coming around the railroad. And then,
damn, there's a woman.
What's that?
That's fine. I'll take a look at it. But can you do me one favor?
What's that?
Just because you are detained, can you not reach around a whole lot? Like I just said, we had a
I don't have,
deputy
for the record, I don't have any guns.
That's fine.
No
I'm
weapons.
not saying that you do.
Okay.
In Texas,
I'm letting you know that.
A lot of people have guns.
Well,
Okay?
I'm letting you know. It's live. I'm letting you know. I don't have any weapons.
Like you're detained right now, so try not to reach around just for my safety, your safety. Okay?
I was reaching for paperwork.
That's fine. I don't know that, sir.
No, I'm letting you know.
You have very heavy tin on the car.
I'm letting you know that I'm not armed.
Okay.
I don't have no.
Sir, did you just tell me you want to give me a reach around?
Okay.
Okay, but you're asking me.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm asking you. Well, I'm telling you at this point.
Just because you have a mouth doesn't mean you have to fucking use it.
Right. Appreciate it.
Not interested in your reach around, sir.
Yeah, they did that on purpose. Right. And now they about to come since you gone, probably. Why y'all pull it up when she leave?
Huh?
Why you come when y'all made her leave?
Don't worry about that.
No, I do.
We're not pulling over. We're just taking a welfare check.
But y'all knew
we
she
don't
was
know
with
who
me.
is that. We don't know if somebody with a gun or something. We're doing for officer safety.
Welfare check.
Welfare check.
Okay.
Okay?
Can I get a card?
Hold on. That's not the issue here, right?
Can I get a business card?
Huh?
Can I get a business card?
I'm going to write my information.
Okay.
Okay? All right? So, you need my information or everybody who was here?
I need everybody's card.
I'm running a business card. I don't have it.
Doesn't work
I'm
like
gonna
that,
write
dummy.
I got your name and your badge number already.
Huh?
I got your name and your badge number
Okay, well,
recorded
what else
already.
you want?
I want to be free to leave.
Huh?
I want to be free to leave.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna let you make it this time, but next time, we're gonna.
I'm gonna watch the speeding.
Huh?
I'm gonna watch the speeding, but that's not for me. I'm sorry, I wouldn't do that again. But that's
Well,
not.
the total speed. I'm gonna give you warning. I'm giving a word of warning. It's not. We got a lot of stuff going on here. We don't have time to waste. So I'm gonna let you make it today. But next time, the speed limit Toro is 65. Well, we're not going to arrest you. I can arrest you for not having a license. That's a Class C misdemeanor. We're not going through all that.
You would be in so much trouble if you do that.
Huh?
You would be in so much trouble to do
Okay,
that.
well, I don't know about that. But
Okay.
I'm just doing my job. Okay. That's not an issue here, right?
Right.
You want your documents? That
Yes.
you give it to me. You want it back?
Yes.
Man, they're not going to charge him with no license and no anything and speeding? Wow, it's almost like we have a right to do whatever we want. We're not contracting. We're not in that jurisdiction. Really
Now
weird.
the sergeant back there reading that. Mm-hmm.
Hey, I don't have any cards. You got our name?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. I don't have any cards.
Okay, that's enough. I have it on record.
Okay. All right, but I don't have any cards. I'm
Okay.
Sergeant Scott.
Okay.
Okay, 701.
Okay, I got
All
you.
right. Did the rest of them give you their name?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right, thank you. God damn it.
Like a good sergeant came back and made sure
Give me my
all the police
paperwork.
gave their names.
This is
That
my
was awesome.
safe space.
Thank you, brother.
Please
Y'all
respect
You
it.
too. No, I'm a travel safe.
Huh?
I'm a travel safe. I don't drive.
Okay.
Shout to Carl for that,
Travel or
but-
drive, whatever you want to do, but the Toro is spinning 65.
Okay.
You have any questions?
No.
You need our office contact information?
No, I
anything
got
like
it.
that?
I got everything I need.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Have a nice day.
You too.
Wow.
God damn it.
And I want to point out that I'm pretty sure he's black. I don't have the official technical jurisdiction on that, but he looked pretty damn black.
The
Sounded it.
officer?
No, the traveler, dummy. They're always telling me that you can't travel freely. It's not a real thing. And if you're black, you're definitely going to get in trouble. So there you go. There's an example of an
Oh, I thought the
African
driver
American
was
man.
standing
Douglas,
outside the car.
please.
There was a driver in the car the whole time?
I mean, it was good.
How are your thoughts? Douglas is like really
Yeah,
he's
Douglas
menstruating
is
hard tonight.
hardcore. But it was good to see, that there wasn't any black on black crime from the Sarge and the rider, the traveler.
I'm just saying they keep saying, well, the only reason that I got away with it that one time because I'm a white boy. If he were black and they tried that, they'd have shot up the car. Well, apparently not.
You're white? I thought you were albino.
God damn it. I'm not saying that I'm white. They're saying I'm white because I'm Irish and Italian.
Right.
What is going on? My whole world is just shaking right now. What is happening, dude?
You know what, Douglas? Take some Meddle, all right? Take 1 or 2 Meddle, relax. Cops don't understand law. You know what? I'm going to Snafu Snaps video because Snafu Snaps has a video about OTW. I find this to be hilarious. So I'm going to go ahead and sabotage my broadcast as I've done many times in the past because I find Snafu Snaps' saga and his life to be shocking and hilarious. Right, and that just maybe my thing.
That's the truth, yo. If I ever heard it.
OTW news, not news.
Oh, sorry, I didn't blow my cover, did I? Oh shit, the mic cost still.
Now OTW news, not news. Not only begs for money, but falls asleep on his horrible grift of a show. Hashtag truth, yo. Let's view this.
You know, Snafu crew. Not only this loser failure, OTW news, non-news, grift, and support pedophiles and traitors and frauds. Remember his last stream was begging people for the money. He changed his thumbnail. Look, he changed his thumbnail. Why did he do that? Because look, OTW, we have your video saved, you dumb fuck. Where is it? Patrick OTW News, right here.
Chinese selling toilet water?
OTW News, who is okay with pedophiles. Now, you're okay with pedophiles, criminals, traitors, and frauds. And look, there's his original thumbnail. Begging the people for money. All right. Might I add, he doesn't need money, has a house, has food, all this shit, right? Begging people for money for this car, all right, that he claims is his, that he claims is broke down. There's a bunch of bullshit he's claiming. But anyways, this fucktard is such a fucking failure at what he does. He fell asleep on his own stream. All right? See, look. And Christos, of course, his white knight simp fuck that fucking his little cupcake bitch. I tried to
professional broadcaster OTW falls asleep on his own stream.
I heard his no, look, all these little fucktards are sitting there. You're getting more action in your chat room now that your ass is sleeping. So this is what this guy does. He'll turn on he can't run a show without panels or people to help him. He just can't. OTW has no content. Unless he's supporting pedophiles, criminal traitors, or frauds, or people help him with content, right? He can't do content.
OTW definitely needs panels of people to do his content. Panels of people, not just one person. Panel.
Shit or falls asleep. Hence what he did here. So right now he is live. He fell the fuck asleep, right? Because he's grifting, right? He's not really about the entertainment or doing the broadcasting or being part. He's about that money you guys sent him when he's begging for money, right? I'm begging for money. I'm begging for money, right? And apparently he took that thumbnail off, right? So Snafu crew, we need to strike the shit out of OTW. So, it's real easy. You just go here, report, misinformation.
I love that. I love the half-second pause to decide. That was official administrator snaps right there. Because it's real easy. Yeah, misinformation.
Yeah, I asked him to send me
yeah, he's scamming. Go ahead, right there. That's it. We put the ruling in. That's it. How is he continually allowed to abuse policy and lie on
Well, there's billions of people on this earth. We have to do this efficiently. Please.
Douglas, let me think here. Yeah, you're misusing this platform. Now that I think about it, it's misinformation. What you're doing here. Thanks for the update. Thanks for the update, Snafu Snaps. Why do they let him continue this? Look, he's doing it again.
Child abuse because he's supporting pedophiles, criminals, and frauds. Here, I'm going to show you guys a better way to report. You click on the icon here and these 3 dots here.
Right.
And you go report user.
Wow. New levels of reporting.
Not only do you report the individual video, but the user himself.
The guy who fell asleep at a stream, report user. She's cyberbullying.
Harassment and cyberbullying. He just chose 3. He just chose 3 things. I wonder who struck me the other day, by the way, for harassment and cyberbullying. Snafu, you're so ridiculous. He did the same 3 things: child abuse, misinformation, harassment, bullying. Just hit up OTW with
grifting. He's a piece of shit. Well, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to report and strike.
Paul, it is people like Snafu Snaps that make the YouTube Strike Force operate.
What the strike team is about.
Thank you, Snafu Snaps, for your service.
The guy literally fell asleep.
Strike team is about being powerless because they struck me, and within 25 minutes, again, my channel was right back up and the content was back up. And they were like, "We just reviewed it. Turns out you didn't do what we said." I go, "I know." And by the way, it's Snafu Snaps. So
can I tell Paul that every one of those strikes, they make me 10 cents? Am I allowed to give that information on the stream right now?
I'm like, OTW supporting pedophiles, traitors, frauds, criminals.
He's got a box now with text.
Fuck a comma, dude. What's a comma? What's a period?
Again, ladies and gentlemen, the guy fell asleep on his own stream. Let's see if he's still sleeping.
I love how Snaps has adopted like a formal way of speaking to his non-audience. Like he has 4 people watching this live, but he's like addressing the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen. Very professional.
Well, there's 2 ladies and 2 gentlemen.
He titled it lady gentlemen because he didn't know what to do. And you know, he goes to the same old fucking panels, and I guess he ended up at Jack Talcott's. Of course, Jack Talcott, the rapist, right? OTW wants to bring attention to Jack Talcott, the rapist.
Instead of Jack the Ripper, it's Jack the Rapist.
Rape optics from all of you guys, Jack Talcott. But look, he's live right now, and the motherfucker fell asleep. Isn't that just interesting? Is he still sleeping? Yep, he's live and asleep. So, ladies and gentlemen, report.
He's reporting for sleeping.
He's dangerous to journalism.
He's harmful and dangerous acts.
I think he's probably
pharmaceutical abuse.
I was at other dangerous acts.
I think he's probably.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
The whole stream.
Wow. YouTube. It's like did they verify his identity at some point, right? You gotta type it in there.
Dangerous.
Ladies and gentlemen, strike the shit out of OTW News. The optics are high. As he's asleep. Is he really live and still asleep? He sure is.
Factual.
Ladies and gentlemen, strike. Oh, by the way, since we could strike comments that Christos likes brown nosing like a little bitch he is, report Christos for promoting terrorism because he's promoting pedophile supported fucks like OTW News. Christos has been reported. The optics are high.
There you have it. Christos, you got head up too. You got your comments reported.
Stop falling
Hey,
asleep on
Snafu
streams,
is doing the work.
OTW.
Stop falling asleep on panels, OTW. It's bad luck getting stricken for dangerous acts. You're a danger to journalism. All right, let me go to Brian. Brian from High Impact. They love when I say it like that.
That's your wife, right?
Feds? No, he's actually not.
Oh, okay.
Jack Hubbard was like, he thinking that like we were some kind of partners or something. Feds bust Phoenix PD. Unbelievably corrupt. So there you go. When folks think that I'm making shit up, this is the real deal. A lot of us have activated the feds to investigate the local states, local and statewide, for their corruption, right? And every once in a while, you know, they come in and they got a word that they got to have with policy enforcement. Let's go to that.
You know, things have taken a horrible turn for the worse when the Department of Injustice investigates you and finds out, yep, what a lot of people are saying about the level of corruption that you're involved in is absolutely true. I'm going to go over this DOJ investigation of the Phoenix Police Department and the response by the Phoenix Police Department. And as we go through this, you let me know if some of this terminology sounds a little bit familiar to you. It says the Phoenix Police Union resists reform after the DOJ finds officers engaged in rampant abuse. Subheading, the Injustice Department, let's just call it what it is. They are the pot calling the kettle black in this situation, found that the Phoenix police engaged in widespread abuse of minority groups, protesters, and unhoused people. You know, we used to call them homeless people. We're going to go over this real quick.
More fallout from the DOJ report on Phoenix Police's violation of civil rights, use of excessive force, and disciplinary policing. Today,
you don't say. All the kind of corruption that has been uncovered for years by what is known as First Amendment and Fourth Amendment auditors.
More than 20 people who say that they were or their loved ones were victims of police brutality spoke out in a news conference. Fox 10 investigator Justin Lum joins us live with more. Justin.
Ella and Christina, we continue to comb through this DOJ report that really slams the city of Phoenix and its police department. And one of the major issues at the top of these findings, according to the DOJ, is that Phoenix PD uses excessive force and unjustified deadly force. The DOJ
not only did they use excessive force, they knew they were using excessive force and continued to approve it. Listen, he's not going to read all this, but I'm going to read it to you because it's very important to see what the DOJ says. Because if it's true, and I think we've uncovered that it actually is, some heads probably need to be rolling.
DOJ says through their investigation, Phoenix PD supervisors determined that 99% of use of force incidents complied with policy in 2022. And in trainings, they observed officers were taught to use force when people do not immediately comply with commands. The DOJ's review says
you don't say. Imagine my shock.
Officers used unreasonable force in a significant share of incidents in 2021 and 2022. Earlier today, around 25 people who say they or their loved ones have been victimized by Phoenix police spoke about the released report. In 2019, an officer forced Drayvon Ames against a cop car, sweeping his right leg while shouting profanities at him, and held Ames's fiance at gunpoint in front of their children after their daughter took a doll from a store. It led to the officers firing and a near $500,000 settlement.
Fired him. It cost the city, which means it cost taxpayers, not the police union, not the pension, not the police department. It cost taxpayers $500,000, and all they did was fire the guy. That's how serious it was. It cost them that much money, and the guy didn't go to jail. Let's look at some of this DOJ report because it's pretty damning. Check this out. Phoenix PD supervisors determined that 98.7 and 99.4% of force incidents complied with policy in 21 and 22. What does it sound like? Yeah, man. I mean, there's some bad apples, but it's only like 1, 2, 3% max. 97 and 99% of all officers, hey, everything's okay. Our review showed that Phoenix PD officers used unreasonable force in a significant share of incidents. Indeed, Phoenix PD supervisors approved nearly every force incident that we describe above. And check this out. And every incident in which an officer reported pointing a gun at a person, which was over 6,000 times in just 2 years. And those are just the reported incidents, because you know that cops lie in reports. They lose body cam and dash cam evidence all the time. They don't release the complete record. It's always redacted when you get a FOIA request response. Was found to be reasonable and within policy. So the information that the Phoenix Police Department sent to the DOJ, they had already had, and it was already approved. It's like, nope, here you go. We've investigated ourselves and found we didn't do anything wrong 99.4% of the time. And the DOJ is going, well, actually, you did wrong a majority of the time. I mean, it's really, really bad. What is it? Rampant abuse. Rampant abuse. You guys are trampling rights like it's nothing. Says Phoenix PD's failures to meaningfully review force incidents validates and reinforces unconstitutional practices. And this next one right here says, in a training we observed, this is the Department of Injustice, Phoenix PD taught officers that when people do not immediately comply with commands, officers can use force to make them. So this must be like really diehard crimes, like they got a gun or they've harmed somebody, they've committed a felony, right? That's what you're talking about. That's the context. For instance, if a person suspected of a low-level misdemeanor asks why they're being detained and does not sit down when told, Phoenix PD has taught that using force to make them sit down is a proper response. They don't think they're doing anything wrong when they infringe on your rights. They don't think they're doing anything wrong when they use force and violence on you simply for asking why the cop is doing what he's doing. This is how out to lunch these people are. And if a person's body naturally tenses in response to being grabbed, naturally responds and tenses up, that is active resistance. If they do something that's natural to all human beings, view that as active resistance, and force is justified, including using chemical spray. That's how the Phoenix PD views everybody who's not a part of the Thin Blue Line gang. But wait, there's more, because in this interview, they interview the higher ups in the police department, including the police chief.
Inside Phoenix City Hall today, top city leaders told ABC 15 senior investigator Melissa Blasius do not expect any immediate changes based on the Department of Justice investigation conclusions. Melissa joins us live right now. And how was this report received, Melissa?
Well, the city manager does say the DOJ's conclusions cause concern, and they are taking this issue seriously. But
we're so concerned, as a matter of fact, from this report by the Department of Injustice, that we're not going to make any changes at all. We've done nothing wrong.
For now, the interim police chief is not making any immediate changes, sticking with a homegrown policing road to reform plan.
In other words, he's sticking with rampant abuse of power. Got it.
Even as the DOJ says this police department cannot be trusted to police itself.
Phoenix City Manager Jeff Barton and Interim Police Chief Michael Sullivan sitting down with ABC 15 just minutes after the Department of Justice released its findings report outlining years of civil rights violations in the city.
Years of civil rights violations. Years of unconstitutional practices. This is the DOJ saying this. I know on the one hand, it's like, who are they to say that? They're involved in major unconstitutional practices all the time. But when they say it about a police department,
Today, are you willing to say, yes, there have been constitutional violations?
I am not necessarily willing to say that today. I need to review this report, see what they're talking about.
Come on, Jeff. Just one unconstitutional practice, just one violation of your entire police department in 2 years. Just, is there any I'm not willing to say that. I'm not willing to speak the truth. I'm not willing to be transparent. I'm not willing to relent and be corrected and make the changes that need to be made so that we can keep people safe and we can keep police power restrained.
about. We, as you know, have had ongoing litigation to talk about some of these very events. And so that's where my position is today.
Barton says he's taking the DOJ's findings seriously, from unnecessary deadly force to retaliating against protesters to racial bias. Phoenix actually said there was.
They got the indiscretions. They have the unconstitutional practices. They have the crimes on video. There have been settlements reached because of their unconstitutional practices and their civil rights violations. But he's not willing to say, not even on the stuff that we already know was criminal activity by the Phoenix Police Department.
No evidence of discrimination just months ago, but after using years of data, federal investigators found examples like black drivers were 144% more likely to be cited or arrested for low-level moving violations.
As a black man, I do have, concerns with that. I'd be lying if I didn't say that, to you. But what I would tell you is I also, as a black man, I'm not going to stereotype with a broad brush my entire Phoenix Police Department.
It's like you don't have to stereotype. The stereotype basically writes itself. The culture of policing is the culture of policing, which is active police criminality, rampant abuse of power. That is the nature. Those are the characteristics of virtually every police department. Why? Because power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. More exactly, more to the point, power corrupts the corruptible, and it attracts the corruptible. And then when the corruptible get drunk on their own power, they do corrupt things, and they start abusing innocent people. But Jeff won't come off of that.
Because I know what it feels like to be stereotyped.
Do you think intentionally or unintentionally your officers have done harm?
I can't stereotype the mob. I can't take a broad brush and just discount everything Al Capone does in Chicago. There's probably some good guys in the mob.
Over the last few years.
I think you can certainly pick out incidents where we should have performed at a much higher level.
Oh my gosh. Here, let's listen to that question again.
Oh,
Do you intentionally?
you got to realize here why I was still on Taylor Toronto here for a moment. I just remembered why I took it so serious. We're going to continue to bring it up. The dude was with the People's Convoy. The whole time I was there, I met him. I knew him. It wasn't a stranger.
What does that mean to me exactly?
I traveled with the man. He acted like he was just some stranger I'd never met. I met the dude.
Okay.
So he set up someone I knew, man. And in the words of Snafu Snaps, Pogo optics are high, dude. That's what it's. Pogo op. You think they're not watching you? I know they're watching me. I know they're watching. I know you know. We all know. Peniel knows. That's why he's afraid to speak. But they can't do anything. But we don't do it ourselves to begin with. So what's the matter? Speak. Be free. Fuck it. I'm gonna die and be buried alone anyhow.
You're gonna get buried? Why?
I don't know. It's probably what's gonna happen to me. I haven't written anything, so I just assume that's what people are gonna do. I hope they have that. I hope somebody bury me.
I'm sure we can find a coffin big enough to fit you and your life partner in there.
I just want like a good tree planted over me. Plant a good tree over me when I die,
Land of the Blinded, don't you have issues with me and constantly talk about me other places, or did I just make that up?
This is Land of the Blinded 2. Is this an impersonator? I know Land of the Blinded, but I don't know about Land of the Blinded 2. This could be an impersonation. I'm not sure. Is it possible that they're referencing the same character?
About how like Beyonce is the leader of the beehive, that is the hive mind of culture.
Oh, here we go.
Got some interesting content. I don't think they make.
You wonder why Smith's sister just killed herself today?
You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. He just said it in chat. He goes, "My sister just killed herself today, and I wonder why."
Well, I was told that earlier. Yeah.
Condolences,
Because I'm sure mental illness runs in the family, and I'm sure it doesn't help when everybody's like constantly toxic and fearful and projecting and number counting and obsessing, and doing little to nothing with their life.
Speaking of toxicity and mental health, Your boy.
I can
Ian
barely hear you. If you're going to talk, could you
Turn up
get
your
a
mic.
microphone that works?
Can you turn my mic up? Or is it up all the way on your end?
No, it's way down low. There's no way, dude. Turn it up.
Can you turn my mic up on your end? Or is it up all
It's
the way?
all the way up,
There it
pal.
is. Now it is.
All right, is that any better?
Slightly, barely. Speak
your
up, boy.
Your boy Ian is streaming about parasites, and I'm just thinking, like, man, I'll never forget. Before my dad blew his head off, he had Burger King, dude, and I'm just thinking, like, you know, he was showing one article. Ian, I'm talking about. We Are Awake TV, for the shameless plug there. Your boy Ian there. He's talking about. He brought up an article. He clicked on an article, and of course, you know, it's linking parasites, toxoplasmosis specifically to, you know, all types of depression, suicide, all kinds of shit. I'm just thinking, man, because I always thought it was so weird, right? My dad didn't eat that shit.
Yeah, you got to blame something. I mean, figure out,
It would be like
figure
me
out something
eating
that you
Burger
can't see or prove yourself, and you blame that. That's the thing to blame for your own insecurities and issues. Absolutely, that's the thing to blame. You find something you can't see and you can't study and can't know yourself, and that's what you blame for every issue you got going on. Yes, sir. That's what. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I guess the point I'm just saying is, yeah, I mean, parasitology, or rather specifically psychoparasitology, I think is the type of you know, the study of parasites' influence on psychology and the brain. So,
What
just
about your
something to consider.
breath's influence on your psychology and the fact that every moment you breathe in, you're getting information from outside of yourself and taking that in that moment? What about that? That's what I like to focus on.
Right.
Snafu Snaps, what do you have for us? Oh my goodness, I cannot believe it. This is a special news report from Snafu Snaps and the crew, the glue, each and every one of you.
That's you.
Breaking news. OTW is grifting like he never grifted before, faking his junkyard car, saying, I need your money. Give me your money. Money, 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 money. I'm OTW, the grifter. The optics are high. Fuck you, Canadian grift fucktards. Go, go, strike him, go!
These goddamn grifters.
You heard the man. The strike team is in full force on the streets. Be afraid, be very afraid of each and every moment that you turn on these YouTube streets. You could be reported at any angle, any turn, and held back from your vision and your reality if you continue to give your power to people and beings such as these.
Is insane. In the membrane of his fucking brain, never gonna change. Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget.
All right, Snafu Snaps popping in to do his usual routine. He's got a new enemy every other day, apparently.
It was a fascinating example of the news today. That was better than anything I've seen on Fox or CNN. I guarantee. That's for sure.
So wait, is OTW dead, or is he all right?
Yeah, there's nothing we could do.
So he's dead.
He's gone. He's gone, and there's just nothing we could do.
Jesus Christ. I'm gone for 2 days. 2 fucking days, man. 2.5. I miss anybody else? Anything else? Anyone
Who's
else
this?
die, or-
This is Vinny.
Vinny, what happened?
Well,
Everything get straightened out?
No, we had a problem. I mean, we tried to do everything we could.
What do you mean?
Well, you know what I mean. He's gone. And we couldn't do nothing about it. That's it.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
He's gone. He's gone.
Speaking of other streamers, And bitch ass motherfuckers saying that they're not that. Mr. Hubbard, he was streaming actually about real men, and I thought it would be a really interesting dynamic to get.
Where is that at? I want to see that now since you brought it up. I want to see him stream about real men.
On his channel, he was live with RPM.
What does he know about real men? What has he been blowing them lately? Is that how he's got his information?
I didn't even click on the stream, dude. I just saw the title and I'm like, oh,
Oh, well, let me see it. Let's go. Bring it up.
go to his channel, man. You know his channel.
I'll go to his channel now. I gotta type his name in my box here.
It'll be easier than me to.
Real men.
Still
They
going?
tell us to give up our rights and liberties.
Oh,
And they tell us to submit to a surveillance state. And they tell us to stay in our homes.
Oh man.
I just saw it, man. Where is it at? Real men.
Hashtag protest.
Welcome back, True Seeker. It is Wednesday, June 19th, 2024, and I am joined with our friend here, RPM Trey Vietnam. You guys often see me wearing these Hug an AR owner t-shirts.
Oh, it ended. Damn.
You know,
Sure.
and I've been proving all of this shit. And with these cops treating us the way they did, man, it was in and out. I said my piece and they walked away.
98 views?
The one cop even came back and cracked the joke because I told him that they would delete my live stream because the interaction was too positive. He came back around and he was like, hey, I feel offended by your sign. I said, what? And he goes, what about AK owners? And I said, all good.
Yeah, I can't do it, bro.
Yeah, never mind.
Body cam footage, shootout that injured 3 SWAT team members. Let's view that.
Body cam. Bloody ending.
The cam, horrible ending.
He just hit. He just hit. He just hit. Hold on. Haven't heard a bang yet. Fire extinguisher. Heads up here. Heads up here. Step it up. Wait. Check. Bang out. Oh.
Man, you guys are tweaking, man.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Ted's hit! Justin, I got you. Go get him. Get him. Go. Here, pull. It's my arm, my left arm. See him, back. Get up. I can't help me. Jesus, he's inside. You got him down? He's down. Down. Are we going in?
I need another one. TC.
Here. Got it. No. Here. The front.
I need to check your left side. I want you to go to your back.
That boy needs some milk.
Here. Is this okay or no? I don't know. Emily?
Yeah.
Right here.
Yep.
He's not going to be all. If you can't breathe, Jay, go to your side. I can breathe.
Okay. Stay right there for me, please. He's down. Okay.
Who's down?
The bad guy.
Thank you.
Stay right there for me.
I need to go on my side.
Okay, go on the side. Come towards me. Come towards me. Okay. The only thing I haven't checked is his.
All right, Jay, I'm doing a check on you, all right?
Okay.
I'm taking your vest off. If you can help, that's great. I got you, Jay.
Sounds like we got one in custody.
I'm doing a check, Jay. Check your blood. Hang on. Danny, can you check my hands right after I do this?
Nope.
You see anything?
Nope. I'm sorry, Jay. I gotta cover your mouth a little bit. Do you have pain anywhere else besides your face? You're good. No. I had to cover your mouth.
Who else is down?
Ted got, but he got up and walked. So. Yep.
Snap for snaps.
Polly.
Your thoughts?
The optics are high. I left a message in your back room for your co-host, for your co-host OTW. You know, Snafu crew, not only did this loser failure OTW.
Snafu, I already viewed your video earlier. Where were you?
Oh. I've been busy doing real shit. But okay.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
So
OTW done fucked up. And he fell asleep on his podcast.
Yeah, I already played your video because I think that you're insane and it's hilarious, and I already played it. You're like an hour late.
Yeah, it was great, Snafu.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm already ahead of the game.
I appreciate the in-detail optics about how U.S. citizens can support their local government by reporting information that's wrong.
Nothing's wrong. He's obviously a failure.
Okay.
I think
anything else?
I think the Unslavians were asking why Daddy was cupcaking OTW so much.
I don't really cupcake with anybody. I tried
Lord,
to.
Come on, yes you did. You took his Canadian fucking grapes and let him think they were big.
Again, I like OTW. You know, I think that he tries to be good and do good in his life.
Bro, he
has a fairly good sense of humor.
Like it came out of the junkyard, begging for money.
I
and then
heard
he admitted
that.
it wasn't even for the car. Then he admitted it was to just get a truck. Like, dude, the guy's a grift.
All right, so what do you want me to do about it?
I mean, I guess what Snafu's getting at here is that this is not the optimum direction in OTW's life. He shouldn't get up here asking for this, but it's fine. He did. Like, I mean, like, we're really gonna get on him about it, you know?
Bro, he doesn't even know how to put content together. His go-tos are Paul, Jack Talcott, Ian China, and myself. He can't produce his own show unless people help him. He's a fucking loser failure, and then he begged for money. With the pic, like, look at the picture. You notice he took that thumbnail off his picture because he got so much shit.
I mean, I did say something to him about the picture with the facial expression. It was a bit much. Like, look at the car. Wow.
He took it off. He's listening to you, Daddy.
Yeah, I mean, listen, everybody's grifting a little bit, you know? Everybody's got the grift bug.
Well, in that case,
they watch Wizard get three.
Yeah,
They watch Wizard get 3 motorbikes, man, and a laptop.
Speaking of which, this product I'm developing is just crazy. But anyways.
What is it, anal douche?
I mean, like, through the oral cavity.
Well, no, I think there's some leakage. Peanut Power, I think, there's some droplets over there. he's checking for an origin point.
Did you see that fucking car he claimed was his? And then it like dude, it looks like a fucking a junkyard car. At first it was like, did a deer hit it? And then I'm like, how the fuck is a piece of metal ripped out of the hood? This motherfucker.
Then he goes. Then he said he was carrying ladders on a Mini Cooper. Like, who does?
Yeah,
what kind of Canadian fucking redneck?
In the fucking grass for
Dude,
years.
That was very sus damage. Snafu, why is he launching an investigation into what actually caused the accident? That is very weird damage.
Supporting piece of shit Canadian. After him begging money for a fake car that he goes out there. The car starts up, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. The car starts up, by the way. But then he tells everyone, well, I just need a truck. I don't need a car. You know, Mitchell calls him out. You got a house? You got this, you got that. You know, no, it's just you fucktards will give these fucktards money. Like, I would prefer you give Paul Unslaved money or these other fucktards versus these ones that full blown.
I want to say I totally agree with that. And I mean, I'm kind of like forgiving and loving. I come out here every day. I give everything. Like the last 2 days, I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. And it was kind of like the last few days because the people who usually give to me gave to OTW because they thought like he was down and out, you know? Well, so, I mean, I try to be humble. I try to be meek. I try to be like faithful that everybody's getting whatever they're meant for and what they need. You know, I don't really want to hate. I don't really want to watch what he's doing.
Yeah,
you know?
but there's a difference between cowards and morons. Like, I strike the shit out of you, you get it fixed, and you say, fuck you, Snaps, come on up, tell me how the fuck it is. Cowards like OTW is like, block, I'm afraid to even be next to him, which makes it worse, because then we're going to strike even more OTW, you dumb fuck. I'm just saying.
I mean, like, I don't want to post. Is it bad to like pose a question in a very directing fashion? I mean, was
Go ahead.
OTW like committing insurance fraud snafu? Is this what you're accusing him of?
I think that's what's being claimed here.
They lie. I asked Jack, why are you hiding and lying to the audience about you raping a woman and having a misunderstanding daughter with her, right? No, everyone still wants to cupcake to Jack the rapist online. Very interesting.
I love that new nickname, Jack the Rapist.
Yeah, Jack the Rapist.
It's very intriguing. It definitely compels an emotion.
Listen, this man has there's no court proven documents here. Let's relax these claims. Peniel, step in here, be a man.
Why would I relax the claim about a man
that's the
who
thing.
says he has
Jack
a
the Rapist
daughter?
it's an adjective. He's not saying
A man says he has a misunderstood daughter.
Please, I'm your legal counsel here. He's not saying he's definitely doing rape. He's saying he's so creepy that he reminds him of a rapist. So that's like a moniker, like Jack the Ripper, Jack the Rapist.
No, I'm going to say he's definitely hiding his rape off.
Okay, so you're going all the way with it. He's definitely raping.
Okay. Again, Margot came and told y'all whether you like her or not. Margot's fucking. See, this is why Jack, the whole fucking everyone in his family, this is why his family has disowned him, because he hides his rape. It's all love, man. Rape is love.
Well, let me ask you a question. If he is raping, isn't it the most like polite and probably best practice to kind of hide it? I mean, if he's out in the open with the rape, is it like isn't that kind of like arrogant?
That's what I'm blown away
kind
about.
of like upsetting and arrogant?
Figured it out. He figured out to be a love rapist.
You gotta kind of keep it on the DL a bit, don't you?
He figured out how to be a loved rapist, Paul. That's what it is.
Yeah, well, he didn't figure that out. Puffy pioneered that along with other people, and Jack kind of took the lead, right? Jack Puffy Combs?
Something like that.
So you prefer he rape out in the open? You prefer he be loud and proud?
You've alerted the authorities. You will be very in tune with what's happening here, man. That's what's going to happen.
You know what? The authorities are going to say this is a rapist.
What are your optics on this truther cop fellow? I mean, he's obviously effeminate. He wears fedora hats. It's 2025.
I know.
You're lucky that I stand for your right to speak your gay, lispy voice that kind of attracts me sometimes, but it's all right.
Wait, hold on. Was I in a coma?
That's you. I think you just described yourself, except the attractive part.
There's no way it's 2025. Am I high? I am in a hospital.
Hold on. Sorry. I don't know if you guys heard that. I was on the radio with my partner. But anyhow.
Right.
Were you talking to me, Paul?
Who's your partner?
Most likely your mom. I'm not sure what you're referring to.
My mom is your partner while you're drunk and slurring up here.
I don't know, man. Optics are high.
Are you supporting pedo pogos now, Truther Cop? Don't tell me it's so.
Man, the only thing I've supported tonight is your video about how the strike team operates.
All right, good for you. I'll support Truther Cop.
LAPD shoots man running toward them while holding a knife. Very disturbing, by the way.
Sí, buenas tardes. Mire, aquí donde vivo está un vecino que tengo atrás y él anda afuera como drogado y tiene una navaja y corre para todos lados escondiéndose y corre en la calle también.
¿Cuál es la dirección?
Do we have a translator?
West Golden Avenida, Los Ángeles, California.
¿Y él amenazó a alguien con la navaja?
No, él está corriendo. No, gracias a Dios que no hay gente afuera, pero corre.
He has a gun that looks like a knife. Or a knife that looks like a gun? What the heck is that?
West Colvin Avenue.
Was that the Castro
The
Q
neighbor,
train?
male Hispanic. For additional PR calls, advise suspects the neighbor, male Hispanic, wearing no shirt, gray
you guys
pants,
are like
roughly running down the
dude.
street with a knife.
Check this person.
While on the line with PR, she stated suspect is now fighting with unknown person. Additional incident 3306.
834 Rock. Code 6. Hey, Carson. Step back.
Hey, drop the fucking knife! Drop the knife right now! Drop the knife! Drop the fucking knife! Hey, drop the knife! Drop the fucking knife! Hey, drop the knife! You gotta back up. Drop the knife! Drop the knife!
Very strange. The guy was like crawling with the knife, and I don't know.
You know, one time in LA, I have it on my other channel. I filmed. I woke up in my car in Venice, and there's a helicopter flying around. So I figured out what it was because it woke me up. I didn't think it was me, but it woke me up. And there was a dude running around with a knife, and I found him before they did and got the shot and angle. And this dude had a giant knife. He was clearly trying to do death by cop. And thank God, the police did not shoot this guy. He was coming at them with a knife, running at them. And somehow they talk sense into him at the last moment. I got it on camera, but that was it would take me a while to find that.
The other
Nobody
side.
really watched it when it happened. I took it down.
What is happening?
What?
Do you know where you are right now?
Yeah. Do you?
I thought I knew.
All right. See, you're the one who's confused. Why is your mic so low? What's up with your mic, man?
No, it's his fucking headphones, man.
Hey, dumbass. Dumbass.
Or is that worse?
Dumbass.
Right.
God damn it, Paul.
I got I don't know. That wasn't the right one. I got like a spirit box where they talk to OJ, and I've been trying to find it again. It was fucking amazing.
Are you trying to play
They were
Spirit Box with this one? Weird shit.
Still talking about that? Who's talking, OJ? I don't think I fully understood your question to us. I was calling out to Nicole earlier, your ex-wife. I was trying
Ex-wife. I was calling it your ex-wife, dude.
Yeah, he pisses off OJ in the dead realm. Dude, you got to hear it. Like OJ at some point he gets pissed and he pretty much threatens to kill everyone, and then he goes, "If the glove don't fit, you must have quit," and then he leaves. It's the best spirit box session ever. I swear he says it. It's completely audible.
Trying to find out if she could come through and tell us her account of what happened that night. I don't know if she had come through yet or left us any messages at all. But if you're here with us, OJ, the world still wants to hear what you have to say about all of this. OJ, my goal is not to make you upset or cause you any negative feelings.
Isn't OJ alive?
Like I said earlier, I
Oh, he's
personally
dead.
don't know really that much about your story, your case,
He just died recently.
or anything that you've done. And
So this
I'm
man
just
didn't
trying
have
to
a
ask
conversation
you
with this being his
questions
whole
that
life, but all of a
people have
sudden
sent
after
in for
that,
us
he's
to
like, "Oh
ask
yeah,
you.
I should have talked to this person. I'm gonna go back when I'm dead and do this freaking conversation." Are you for real?
You're gonna piss OJ off now, bro. You act like he's not here.
OJ, I was wondering if
Is this
maybe
Brian
we could
O'Shea's new
switch
bit,
some of the
dude? Is this real?
questions
I don't
up
get it.
so that I could get to ask you some
It's Brian
more
O'Shea. So
spiritual
OJ
questions
Simpson's
about
voice,
the
right?
afterlife and how you've been on the other side.
By the way, this is like your best content. This is what you need to do. Just transition to this. Like this effeminate kid, you sound just like him. Just get this box and start talking to dead people. Your channel is going to become way better than whatever you're doing over there.
Pino, you're taking notes, right?
No, you. I'm telling you. Start talking to OJ and other dead celebrities, man. Who wouldn't want to see that? This truth or cop bit's tired out about you going back and forth in time.
Yeah, no one
For
cares about
articles
Taylor
and shit
Toronto,
and little fucking pieces of evidence. Peanut, please.
All right.
But yeah. Like, I don't know what you've been doing over there, bro. Could you get a spirit box? It's like a really low overhead investment.
OJ, the questions that have been flooding in for you have not only been about your trial, but also about your new life on the other side. If it's okay, could you please come through and try to tell us how you've been doing on the other side, OJ,
God
since your
damn it,
passing?
Paul.
OJ, I don't know if you're here.
Yeah, he storms off. He pissed off OJ and then he leaves. But he does at some point say, if the glove don't fit, you must have quit. I'm not even kidding. It's actually in there. So you got to look for that. It's fucking great. I got to look for that later. I'm going to look for that specifically.
He has a license to operate that. I hope you guys know that you need a license to operate a spirit box.
Well,
Okay,
yeah,
if you
for
guys need
safety.
it, it's $125. $125. I just looked it up. To get it through me, you can register through emailing me. Contact@Healing Law. Shoot me an email. We'll get you registered for your spirit box license.
Right. All right. Let's move on here. I'm going to wrap up soon.
Hey, what did I miss the last few days? Anything of any value or substance?
Yeah, you're looking at it.
Got it.
Millions of Canadians in the path of incredibly serious heat dome. Sure that I care.
Are you streaming late the rest of the week?
Yeah, I don't know, man. You'll find out.
You don't know. All right,
Justin
man.
Timberlake. Truth or cop,
Interesting
please. You're
out,
not
man.
even a cop. I don't even know what you're doing here. You're lucky you're even here. You're questioning me. Justin Timberlake was arrested for drunk driving. Okay, just look at this. This is important.
Justin Timberlake
Breaking
has been
news.
arrested for allegedly driving while intoxicated in New York. The singer was arrested Monday night in the Hamptons. He's expected to be arraigned today. The 43-year-old is currently on a world tour for his 6th album, Everything I Thought It Was. He's expected to perform 2 shows in Chicago later this week.
This is a very serious offense, obviously, if he committed it.
Yeah, right. Whatever.
I cannot believe a Hollywood celebrity would commit such acts of heinousness.
All right, I'm going to Carl Lenz for the last 30, 45 minutes. So
I'm
got
jumping
a
off here.
final word.
I'm shooting you an invoice for my time tonight. It was an hour and a half, right?
All right, I'm gonna let you go.
Have a good night, bro.
Well, we'll see you later. Final word, Penal Power. This guy Douglas is like he's on Sweet Air or something. He's a very sweet guy, and I think he's on that Sweet Air.
He's tweaking on Toronto.
A little whacked out. Something's up with him.
Just a little bit. Teeny bit.
All right, get out of here.
All right, I'm see you later.
All right, we love you, Sean. Goodbye. Last 30 minutes, 45. Carl Lenz, you guys need it. You got to figure out how to stand in court because you're terrible and you're slaved out, and that's where it's going to be won or lost, I suspect. Okay, go.
Uh-oh.
And then I'll bring one piece of proof in, and then he'll bring in one piece of proof, and then I'll bring in another piece of proof, then he'll bring another piece of proof, and then I'll eventually win or he'll eventually win. Trying to say?
Being inexperienced, you heard loud and clear things that I didn't hear, of course. But I heard what words came out of her mouth, but you understood more better than I what she was really trying to say. But bottom line is, that is what she said.
Yeah, so they couldn't offer him a plea deal because they were like, he kept asking, well, what's it going to take to get this ankle bracelet off me? What's it going to take? What's it going to take? It's like, look, they can't even offer you a plea deal yet until you enter a plea. You haven't entered a plea yet. So until you enter a plea, there's nothing we can do.
She entered a plea of not guilty, though, without...
But you didn't. But you have to. She can't do it. You have to do it.
Right.
She can't do it. You have to do it. They're waiting for you. And that's what she kept saying. We're all waiting on you, Greg. Like, if you just plea, you'll get that ankle bracelet off you a lot quicker. You just go to jail. You'll get it off you real quick. You'll go straight to jail. You want that off your ankle? We got a way to do it.
Well, remember when they came after me about a year and a half ago for willful failure to file? They posed a plea agreement before they even spoke to me, ever.
Yeah, but that's to the defendant, not to the man. They can offer the defendant because they have jurisdiction over defendant. They don't have jurisdiction over a man. So yes, they can enter a plea on behalf of the defendant. They can't enter a plea on behalf of the man. There's two different characters going there. There's two different things. The nature of you is a man. One of your characteristics is that of a defendant, but you're also a son. You're also a grandson. You're also a dad. You're also a drunk. You're also the smartest man on the planet. But you are always a man. Can they enter a plea in behalf of? Can your mom enter a plea on your behalf because you're her son? Yes. But are you liable for it? No, not until you say that you're liable because now you're a man. You don't have to carry out what your mom orders anymore.
But don't we have the right to be the characteristic of the defendant, which I'm going to avoid using words that you don't want me to use, such as legal person. But we have the right to be the man or to be that in our character as well. Doesn't say we have to. Nothing says we have to.
Let me make it even simpler. In their case, you're the defendant. Big deal. It's like saying in their story of Charlotte's Web, or their story of the Lord of the Rings, or their story of Harry Potter, you're the magic wizard. So what? That's their story. Who cares? Well, they say everybody in the Harry Potter movie, everybody in America is an evil tyrant. Okay, the evil tyrant, and they're all selfish. Okay, great. Now, am I going to go around and sue that lady for saying that everybody who lives on the American continent is an evil person? No, I'm not going to waste my time. Whatever she wants to put on in her story, in her case, I don't care. Has nothing to do with me. So she could call me anything she wants. I don't care.
We can say the same thing. Yeah,
right.
you've got a defendant there. What has that got to do with me?
It has absolutely nothing to do with me as a man. That's their case. So all you're doing is saying, look, you either stop interfering with my life with your silly case going on because now it's causing me harm or financial loss. I'm going to file a case against you. First you said, I got the letter. The next thing you said is, then they're gonna ignore this. And then I don't put anything in writing, and that's not the way I work. So what I said to you, I said, what you should have supposed to have said to that attorney immediately, saying, good, I need you to put it in writing that you don't put anything in writing, and I need you to sign it and send it to me that you don't do anything in writing. You remember?
Right.
That's the only thing I wanted to see. That's the only letter I wanted to see come back from her, is that I don't do anything in writing. That's not the way I work. I don't put anything in writing. Now, tell her to put that in writing and sign it and send it to you. Because it's your word against her word that she doesn't put things in writing. You see what I'm saying? That's why I try to say to people, make things short and sweet. Make a simple letter. Say, are you going to send it? Well, I was basically saying when I sent that letter, when we wrote that letter, saying whoever's who's keeping this property on my property, I'm going to require you to remove your property now. I no longer want it. I don't want to maintain it. I don't want to be the steward of it. I just want it gone, and I want it gone now. If you don't get it off my property, I'm going to hold whoever has the ability to remove this from my property liable for damages.
You want me to read this 12-point letter that really got her vote?
What you okay? Read whatever the one that is this the one I sent to you?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and read the one that really pissed her off.
All right. Thank you for your phone call regarding the situation between the United States of America and I. Phone calls are at times a useful form of communication. You do understand, as I do, that phone calls are not proper decorum courtroom setting. I communicate.
Yeah, talk closer to the microphone, man.
I communicate.
There you go. That sounds good. Now start from your beginning, man, because the first 3 sentences sound terrible.
Okay. It says, thank you for your phone call regarding the situation between the United States of America and I. Phone calls are at times a useful form of communication. You do understand, as I do, that phone calls are not proper decorum within a courtroom setting. I communicated with you in the written form to secure and protect my rights. I now require of you to preserve and create a record by pressing our phone call conversation on paper. I now.
Yeah, sorry about that, man. That was Little Bill. Go ahead, Greg. That was Little Bill.
I now require of you to make delivery of said paper to my person post haste. I now require of you to answer these following questions. Question: is it true I made a presentment of a letter to you? Question: is it true that you said they are not going to pay attention to it? 3. Question: is it true that you said they are not going to pay any attention to it? If I don't understand this.
Okay, I'll do question number 3 because you're not emphasizing what I emphasized in the written word. That's why it's easier for people to read what I write than hear the inflection if you're doing it wrong. See, it says 3. Question: is it true that you said they are not going to pay any attention to it? Is it in reference to A, my letter, or B, my wish to have they to remove their property from my person? See, the whole thing is that Greg's forgetting to tell you folks is the question number 2 was very important. Question number 2, is it true that you said they are not going to pay any attention to it? Now, I don't know if you people know what the word they means. They can never, ever be used as an adjective. They is a pronoun defining a person or a thing, a noun. So what is this they? The lawyer said to him, they are not going to remove it. Okay, let me see. The plaintiff is the United States of America. Okay? And the defendant is Greg. Okay? So who is this magical they? Is this they, the plaintiff, the United States of America? Are you telling me they? Who is this they who's accusing me of doing wrong? Is it the United States of America? I have the right, under habeas corpus, to have the right to cross-examine my accuser. So is this they the United States of America? I need to know. Can you please just define for me this they that is making a claim that I and my person are doing something wrong to they? Who is this they? Is it a the they? Or is it a this they? Because it's the United States? Or is it this United States? Or is it this guy over here? Or that guy over there? Who is this? Who is this they? Who is this magical they? I already explained to you folks months ago what the word you means and what the word I means. Now there's a nice new fun word. What is this they? His attorney says they will not remove it. They who? They, the U.S. Marshal Service? They, the magistrate, the guys in the black robe? They, the court reporter? They, the federal prosecutor? They who? Who is this magical they? The IRS? Who is they who will not do what I order them to do or require them to do or wish them to do? Who is this they? Can you please tell me who this they is? That's the big thing. So like I said, if you just read the letter word for word, it kind of doesn't make any sense. Unless everybody understands what the word they means and the way I emphasize the word it.
And it's in quotations and it's in bold. So
yeah, and it's not italicized. Right. What is this they and who? What is this it? They said they're not going to remove it. What is this it? Is this it the ankle bracelet? Or they're not going to pay attention to it in reference to my letter that I just sent to them? Are they going to dishonor my presentment of a letter? Are you going to say they're going to ignore it and not respond within 72 hours? Are they going to ignore it, my present? Or are they going to ignore it, my wish to have this ankle bracelet removed from my property? What is the it that you're referring to, lawyer lady? Be precise, because I'm going to break your balls. And I'm going to make you say exactly what you mean. And you are going to put it in writing. And if you don't like to play by the rules, which is normal rules all over the planet, that when we communicate, I want to do it in writing. And when you tell me something, I need it to be precise because you're telling me I'm going to go to jail, I'm going to federal prison. You better believe we are going to do this by the letter of the law. We are going to do this by the book, by the numbers 1, 2, 3. You will put it in writing. You will sign it. You will explain to me if you are supposed to be the federal attorney lady who's supposed to help me. I need you to define who this they is who's coming after me. Who is this they? Am I coming after them? Am I the accuser? Am I the prosecutor? Or are they? Can you just tell me what is the nature of the parties in this case, their case? Because it's not my case, it's their case. You're going to have to define for me where I stand in this they's case. Is it they who? So you could be like, well, stop being such an asshole, and you know who they are. You know who they are. No, I don't know who this fucking they are. You tell me who is this they. Because I'm telling Greg, he's the they. He's the one who wishes everything in when you deal with the IRS. He's the they who wanted the ankle bracelet. He's the they who's going to prosecute himself. He's the they who's going to open his mouth and will give up his Fourth and Fifth Amendment rights. He's the they. The only way they can get you is you have to confess. Just like you could watch all those old movies, man, Spanish Inquisition. Oh, the priests can't kill you because they're good, godly priests. But what they do is they torture you so much, so then you finally say, oh, I confess, please kill me, because I know I've done wrong. And the priest says, okay, we'll let you out of this earthly bond and torture, that you put yourself through. He's like, well, no, dude, you put me through this. Oh, no, we didn't put you through it. You put yourself through this. You wanted us to do this to you. Remember? You wanted us to do this to you. I don't remember. Then the torture keeps going on. They're just fucking with you. They're playing word games with you. You got to know who the it, the they, the you, the I is. It's ridiculous what they're doing to you. Well, it's ridiculous what they're doing to I as a man, or I as a woman. The other person I'm speaking to on the other end of his phone, not the you. So that's why you always laugh when you folks see me for years writing back and forth to some people. I always write the word use with the SE on it because I want to let you people know you is plural. So I say, you know what? Let's write use to these folks. Y-O-U-S-E. You people say, there's no such word. It's like, okay, but do you know you is plural? No, I don't. I said, okay, and when I write SE, does it look plural? Well, it looks plural now. There you go. Because they're effing with you. It looks singular, but it's plural. So I'm going to write it so it's plural. I'm not messing with you people. I'm not part of their team. I'm not going in Y-O-U. I'm writing Y-O-U-S-E because you know what? It's plural. I don't hear anybody calling up on this thing and say, Cole, I just Wikipedia'd the word you. It's not plural. No, you don't hear anybody. And I've been telling people this since like November, December. And then some guy did a great call on Angela's show. He spent like an hour just explaining the word you even better than I did because I could do it in about 10 seconds. That guy spent a whole hour. God bless him. Because I don't feel like spending an hour explaining what this day is. I don't feel like spending an hour explaining what the word I means. This is simple. So thank God other people are picking up the ball and running with it. And it's like, hey, you know what? I listened to the call on Angela's show last week, and he brought up the word you, and he said, hey, you guys got to learn what this word means. Or they're going to eat you for lunch every time you walk in the court and said, hey, is this you, Bob? Hey, is this you, Sam? Hey, is this you, Joe? Yeah, he's got joinder. He controls the defendant because Joe is listed as the defendant. So now the judge has jurisdiction. And that's all I'm trying to say to you folks. And when I say this, like, look, I am a man. There you go. I'm done. What? I am a man. I claim. Boom. I'm done. I claim what? Whatever the hell I want. Whatever the hell I wish. Whatever the hell I require. It's simple. And they know it. And it's deadly. And that's what's Larry got on earlier. And he said, he's the one who told me. He says, man, the feds are looking for all this big fancy paperwork. And I'm not giving it to them. When I saw my stuff, they said, what's this? This is what they're afraid of? It's 4 sentences. This is ridiculous. It's like Fred Flintstone. It's like third grade. And third grader can understand. It's like, yes, but you understand what that word really means. So I sat in the U.S. Marshal's office for an hour or two and explaining to them that 4 sentences. And they're like, holy crap, this is like genius. I said, yes, it's your words. It's so simple. It's scary, isn't it? They're like, wow, now we see why they're so scared. It's like, yes, thank you. It sounds retarded. It's so simple. It's so scary. I said, I'm not bombarding the court with 10,000 documents. It's 1 page, man. I put it like in 20-something font to make it fill up the page because it looks so ridiculous how tiny it is. So you're like, oh, okay, yeah, it's kind of different. It's like, yeah, that's all I claim. I make a claim. I claim I found gold. I found it over here. Anybody else wants to make the claim that my claim is a false claim, let me know and I'll share the claim. Or I'll give it up and I'll give it to you. Maybe you are the rightful possessor of this gold. Maybe I am in the wrong. Maybe we could share. Whatever. Simple claims. I believe you did me wrong. And that's why I say to people, you finish it on the administrative side. You see, that's what I'm doing with this man in Indiana with the IRS. And it's driving them effing nuts. And this man's afraid in Indiana that they're not going to let us finish the administrative process, that they're going to just run his ass straight into the courthouse. And they say, look, before this guy can finish up anything else on the administrative side, man, we're going to have to slam this guy down because he's asking us questions. And we have to answer his questions. We're the one who's the plaintiff. We have to say, tell him what is the nature of his wrong. Okay, that's the nature. Now, define what the wrong is. Can you please explain in detail what I did wrong? And right now, I guarantee you, they cannot say wrong. Because this is what I said to this man. He keeps saying to me all the time, crime. I said, what word is crime? It's some sort of legalese, gobbledygook word. There's no such thing. It's like you either did wrong or you didn't do wrong. Wrong is the worst thing you could say to somebody in a court. You say to the judge, Judge, I believe you're committing a crime. He'll be like, eh. You say to the judge, hey, you know what? You're doing wrong. That judge is going to explode. That's the worst thing you can say because there's no excuse for doing something wrong. Because you know what the right thing is to do. And to do a wrong means you know what is right. And you're disregarding the fact that you know the difference between right and wrong. And you choose to do wrong. So all I keep saying is like, and I say, you know, who's claiming I committed a crime? No. Who say I do wrong? There you go. It sounds like retarded. Who say I do wrong? It's like, well, that doesn't even sound like no, well, it's present tense. Who's making a claim right now, today, this moment, at this time? Not in the past, right now. You say I do wrong? Yes or no? So see, that's what I'm trying to say, man. I make things really simple for the people. And then if they say, yes, we claim that you do wrong. Okay, which of the you? I, the man, am doing wrong, or I, the taxpayer, or I, the person who filed that 1040 form? Who are you claiming did the wrong? The tax filer or the man? And there you go. I'm trying to show him we're going to separate the two. We're going to separate him as the tax filer or him as the man. Which one does the IRS, the United States of America, want to go after? Because he is a man, he's like the bondsman. He is holding the bond for the defendant. Or like you are like the chattel. You're holding the liability of your child. Your child throws the rock through the windows. Obviously, they're going to come to you. Just like back in you watch the I Love Lucy shows, Lucy Ricardo did something wrong. They always went after Ricky because Ricky was the one liable. And Ricky would go freaking nuts. He's like, not again. I got to bail you out again. Lucy, when are you going to stop your nonsense? This is costing me big bucks. Wasting my time. Can you just cut your crap? And that's the same thing when you say the word you. You got to, if you don't want to be joined, separate yourselves, man, because you got a common law country where you can say, whoof, you know, you want anything from me, the man, you let me know. But as the defendant, you know what? I'm sorry what my defendant did to you. I'm sorry what my I Love Lucy lady did to you. But you know what? Honestly, I'm not liable. You want her, you go after her. But I, as the man, you better leave me alone. Or make a claim that I, the man, actually did a wrong to another man. Well, then I'll compensate. I'll be more than glad to settle the matter. I'd be more than glad to write out a paycheck, write out a check right now to anybody who's claiming I did wrong. Please state your claim. And the government can't make a claim, especially against a man. That's ridiculous. That's why my stuff is so simple, because I could only deal with like credit cards, mortgage companies, governments. I can't deal with another man on man. None of my nonsense works when it's a man on another man. You do another man wrong, figure out a way to pay him back. Some husband and wife called me up and they said, my son's in jail. I said, did you do somebody wrong? It's like, what? Did he hurt somebody? Yeah. I said, well, then I hope he sits in jail and rots. I said, because if you folks as parents don't know the law of this land, I'm not going to explain it to you. All he basically had to do was beg for forgiveness and say that he was sorry. But if his parents didn't even know that, he certainly doesn't know, and he belongs in jail because he'll come out thinking that he could just run around, hurt people, say, oh, I'm sorry, raped you, oh, I'm sorry, no, forget that, man. People like that need to sit in jail and get the hell away from the rest of society. But all I do has to do with any kind of anything other than a self-governing entity, like I'm a self-governing entity, or like a corporation other than flesh and, like a man. Man, I'm a corporation. I'm embodied, because my mom and dad joined together in intercourse and commerce, and commerce and intercourse is basically the same word. And I'm the product of my mother and father. Am I a corporation? Yes, I'm whole and complete. So, like I said, if you want to play cute with the words, sure, we can go all day and play cute with the words, but that's why I make my stuff short and sweet. Did I do wrong? Yes or no? Well, no, I didn't do wrong, but you did wrong. Oh, so you're trying to join me with that fictional entity. Is that what you're trying to do? The tax filer, is that what you're trying to get joined over me, Judge? Because I, a man, did I do wrong? Yes or no? And Judge will say, well, absolutely not. You're damn right I didn't. I'm telling you, when you guys wake up and you see this stuff, you'll say, no, I see why Carl's laughing all the time, why the judges laugh at us all the time, too. They say you better go get an attorney, Sonny, before you go get yourself hurt. And you guys got beautiful paperwork. You know all this shit inside and out, and the judge just gets you on a simple word like you. And you're like, that bastard, that psychopath, he's evil. No, he's not. He's like you're dealing with your mom or your dad when you were a little kid, when you're 3, 4 years old. He's already got jurisdiction and control over you. Either he wants to hear your bullshit or he doesn't want to hear your bullshit today. It's like, you know what? Well, how come he let that lady go and that's when he didn't? Well, he's like your mom and dad. Mom had kids that she liked, and she knew that you were going to be a pain in the ass, so she came down harder on you than she came down on the other kids. How do you get jurisdiction over me? He just asked you, is this you? Are you Bob? Are you Susie? And you said, yeah. I said, well, there you go. I got jurisdiction over you. Now I'm going to either want to hear your nonsense or not hear your nonsense. What did I explain to you what income tax was? Do you remember?
I'm thinking that you said it was an ancient act of pledging.
You know, it's whatever you wish, whatever you believe it is.
Well, right.
Remember what that attorney lady said?
Yeah, she says, they can't say what is income and what is not income. Only I can say.
That's right.
So
there you go, sir. So guess number 28. See, this is when I talk. I talk so simple, so quick, so straightforward. This is exactly the way the federal people will talk to you as well. Just like Harry Reid said. Harry Reid said the income taxes are voluntary. And then one guy said, but if you don't pay your income taxes, you're going to jail. That's right. Harry Reid said, yes, that's true. You will go to jail if you don't pay your income taxes. But then the guy said to Harry Reid 100 times, I thought you said the IRS income taxes are voluntary. He said, yes. And then he said, but didn't you just say if you don't pay your income taxes, you go to jail? He said, yes, you're right. So now if you people understand how simple Harry Reid is talking, like simple like I'm talking, it all makes perfectly logical sense. But that poor bastard on that YouTube video who was doing a mass email to everybody, Harry Reid explains how the IRS income tax is voluntary. And then the poor guy kept saying to Harry, but Harry, I thought you just told me that if I don't pay my income taxes, I go to jail. Yes, you do. But income taxes are voluntary. Yes, they are. But if I don't pay them, I go to jail. Yes, you do. Harry is dead on, and Harry's not lying to you. You just don't understand the words that are coming out of his mouth. You think you know what the words are because you went to public school. So I said, this man from Indiana here, Greg, he sat right there. And the lady picked up a huge spreadsheet and said, look at all these numbers that were going in and out of this account a couple of years ago. I thought this was all, you explained all this income. And thank God, man, he said, my boots, my boot kicking him when my boot helped a lot. Telling him basically, don't say a damn thing, buddy, because this is all on confessions. They can't tell you what any of those numbers on any of that spreadsheet paperwork means. They don't have an effing clue. There's 6 different other forms of funds that can be placed into an account. They don't all exclusively have to be income. And one show will explain to you the other 6 forms, but not right now.
It's up to you. It's up to you if you want to say that what you have in your account was derived from being an agent, officer, or employee of the government.
And she didn't even waste that many words. You wasted many words. All she said to you is, we have no clue what your income is. We have no idea. You have to tell us what your income is. Now, you use this nice big fancy thing that you just said. I can't even remember what the hell you just said. What did you just say again? That agent of what?
Well, first of all, you have to, we don't know, and we're not supposed to know the definition of income.
Because there is no, you believe, you define it for them. They can't define it for you.
That's right.
So what's funny
if you let them define it,
you let Rod Class define it for you under like a U.S. Code 26 or U.S. Code 16 or U.S. Code 18. If you want to let these big books define your words for you, well, God bless you. As far as I'm concerned, those books are written in German or Chinese or legally.
Not to mention, if you use them, it must apply to you.
That if you want to use them, then you bind yourself to them voluntarily. It's all voluntary. You don't have to bind yourself to their beliefs. It's all voluntary. Like I say to you folks, thank God. It's easy for me. It's so much easier for me to understand this stuff than it is for you guys because my dad did not read or write English. He was German. So everything to him, unless you spoke it or read it to him in German, he had no effing clue what you're talking about. So it was easy for me to say, what do you mean, Dad? You don't understand that? No, I can't read that. What? It's just a simple, like, driver's license. It's just a simple contract. It's a simple, I don't know what it says. So it was so easy for me, every time a government agent would throw something at me, say, I don't know what that says. Because I saw my dad doing it my whole life. So it's easy for him to say it, then I put two and two together. It's like, hey, you know what? He's really pissing these people off. What do you mean you don't understand? I don't. It's in the language I don't understand. They can't bind them to it. It's that simple. Everything that gets thrown across the desk, forget that you got a straight A. Forget that everybody called you a dummy in school if you didn't understand it. Call me a dummy. I don't give a damn. No, the real word is an idiot. I am an idiot. That means I'm just not willing to contract with you because I don't understand the terms and conditions of the contract. Not one iota, not I'm an idiot. Iota, idiot. Not one little micron do I understand. Is there any law that says I must learn what you wrote? No, that's ridiculous. Do I have to learn your language? No. Is there a law that says I must understand your beliefs? No. Come on, people, stop being silly. You're just wasting my time, but you know what? Hey, you know, like I said, man, it's just a lot of fun, man, because like I said, I'm helping a lot of folks, like deprogram. You know, and people, I mean, I could tell, man, people are like donating to me, man. So, I mean, people are telling me keep up the good work and stuff like that. I mean, hell, this man, I'm talking to Greg, man. He got me out there to Indiana. You know, so that worked out fine for me too, and hopefully it's helping him, man. I know his fucking lawyer's probably not thrilled, but his lawyer said, man, this guy's done a 180-degree shift from the first time she met him. So, see what I'm saying?
The first time she met me, it was all anger. It was all, you know, your basic, been done wrong, and I hate this, and they're all evil crooks and criminals, and they're all fraud, and they're all violating our rights, and they're all doing this, and they're all doing that. Now I understand everything, and I don't have to think that way, and I don't have to waste all that energy feeling that way, because all that'll do is drain you.
Yeah, it's just wasting your time, man, away from your wife, your kids, your job, your family, your business. What a waste. Reading all that crap, trying to learn all that shit. It's unbelievable.
Why do we have to play ball, or why do we have to play cards with them when we know that the damn deck is stacked? And we all know the deck is stacked. I mean, you know, they have all the cards picked out. You know, they're the dealer. They kind of set you up or set us up to believe everything is going to be fair and just and honest when it's not. So,
well, that's because for the first 100 years of this country, it was reversed. They knew they had no chance in court. They knew that they would get a guy like me who would say, "Wait a second, you're our creation. I don't answer to my creation. I'm the creator." It's just like what I say to people when you say about God. Now, you could pray to God all you want, but if God doesn't do what you want him to do, what are you going to do? Sue him?
Right.
They're flipping it around. They're flipping around. It's just the same thing. Like I say to people, if you know history, like you know, the Chinese emperors always had to have their feet bound in these little tiny cloths, so they couldn't really walk out of the palace, and they had these really huge fingernails because all the people who raised them up since they were little kids said, well, gods have little tiny feet and gods have really long fingernails. So what they were doing is they were basically crippling the king. So the king couldn't sign anything. The king couldn't walk anywhere. And they told him you couldn't leave the palace because this is like heaven and, you know, you can't leave the palace. So they basically were, they were running the show when they had no power. And all those clowns, if you actually read them, they were all eunuchs. So basically they had nothing worth living for, I guess, in their minds. It's like, what the hell? Let's screw with the king then. You know, since we can't screw women, let's screw with the king. So, so technically they're in power. So that's basically what's going on here.
Got Mike in the back. I'm going to wrap up here. See what he's got to say. What's going on, Mike?
Greetings, how's it going? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, so with the Carl Lentz stuff, whenever he's talking about making claims and all that, he never really gets specific on how you do that. Like, I don't understand what the process is for getting it done. I guess you put it on paper. Do you file it into the case? Do you like send it to him the next day or what? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense what I'm asking?
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's different ways to look at it, different ways to approach it. I can't claim that I have one way or that I understand his way and presume it to be one way. I think he's saying to get it on the record somehow, some way. You could attempt to file it with the court clerk, not necessarily in their case. You know, you can attempt to create your own case. They're going to try to get you to use civil procedure. Again, I'm at the point now where I'm trying different aspects of this. I may use their sort of formulation, which is basically a civil complaint. I may attempt to amend the formality, the form, and make it clear that it is a claim. Right? Yeah, this is again why you have to practice. Go to the court clerk and tell them you want to put a claim on record and see what they tell you. And attempt to get them to do what it is that you want them to do. Saying, is there one way? Well, whether there is or there isn't, whether he believes he has a way or not, we all have to make our own way. So the way you do that is by going down to the court clerk and telling him, I want to file a claim and see what they say, and then attempt to compel them to do their service and to work for you. There's no reason they can't create a file, put whatever it is that you want to put into that file, and have it handy in case you want to call the court's attention to whatever it is that your claim or record is on file. Whether or not they're going to want to do that is a different story, but that's why, again, it's practicing law, because there's a lot of situations where they're going to tell you, we can't do that. That's not how this works. You got to do civil procedure. And who says? You know, and this is why, again, some folks get things done and take it, follow the thread and take it further than others, because other folks just ask or they don't ask at all. And then someone answers and they just accept it. They never go anywhere with it. Right. So it's a practice, it's something that I'm not claiming that I've perfected. Again, I do know that folks around me have gotten dismissals using this information and pretty much asking me what I would do in situations on the defensive. At that point, if you do get the dismissal, like so many have, including the guy Dave, who I brought on here recently, well, then at that point, what's the difference how you come in on the other side to generate compensation or to achieve compensation? Like I said, I'll come in as a person or rock, whatever you like. At that point, unless I perjure myself, there's really not that much, from my perspective, threat on you coming in as the person on the quote unquote offensive side, as the claimant or the complainant. Right. So,
Yeah, and that's why I think that's important because, I mean, as Carl says, you have to, otherwise you'll be held in contempt. if you want to challenge anything that the prosecutor says, basically. Right. So, for me specifically, the administrator entered a plea on my behalf. I objected to it. He didn't care. Then they scheduled me for a non-jury trial. I objected to it. He didn't care. Nothing I said mattered in there, apparently, except, that I objected to it. And so in a situation like that, since I'm not there right now, and I want to essentially file a claim that he trespassed on my property by
What are these
entering a plea
charges
on my
for again?
behalf, just obstruction.
Okay. So, I mean, what's the like bottom line here? Like obstruction for what? How? What's the roundabout story here?
Well, I didn't obstruct. That's the thing. I mean, I was questioning the lawfulness of the stop. When I got pulled over, I was questioning the lawfulness of the stop. And ultimately, I was about to identify the person. I said, I'll identify under duress, the person. And then I spoke with the supervisor. I told the supervisor, okay, I'll identify the person under duress. And then the guy pulls me out of the car on the other side and they charged me with obstruction.
Okay, what's the rest of the charges?
It's just obstruction. So he pulled me over for defective equipment.
This is okay. So again,
Right.
you were emailing me earlier, and I told you that from my perspective, the biggest thing that most folks, including myself and you and others, have to work on is living faithful and being trustworthy, right? While remaining in honor.
Yeah.
So this is not about the
Yeah.
paperwork. This is not about the process. What you just told me, if I read your email right now, right, like you would see in front of others what I'm talking about, because you're charged with something right now and there's no other charges, right? Like what sense
Well,
does
the
this make?
defective equipment, but it's defective equipment. Sorry. But I didn't count that whenever I was answering you, I guess, because in
Right.
my
What's the
mind,
defective
it's already
equipment?
taken care of. The tag light that was burned out. So I got pulled over for. The tag light was burned out.
Okay. So yeah, man. I mean, again, it's like, at what point do folks go, I'm just going to ride this out till the end and stand on what's true and correct and see how it goes? And not like drive myself insane from now till whenever the conclusion is, with this self doubt, this fear, this insecurity. You're pulled over for absolute nonsense. A tag light is out. You simply asking questions about, wanting to learn, whatever the case may be. So they're going to charge you with obstruction because they're mad that you dare to question their false authority. And it's like, is this not sort of the best case scenario? Like to have to go to court? Like if you have to go to court and try some things out or learn the process, isn't this pretty much as good as it's going to get?
Yeah, I think I've got a pretty strong case. That's the thing. If I wanted to fight it, like in the legal system, I think I have a pretty strong case. But I don't want to fight it in the legal system. And when I emailed you this morning, I woke up because my my trial was supposed to be tomorrow, and I woke up. I'm like, man, I'm freaking out because I don't know what the hell I'm doing when it comes down to it. I get in that fear state, yeah. And I was like, man, I should just get an attorney. But by like
But
8 a.m.,
this
that was
is
gone.
my point. This is why you shouldn't be afraid, because you don't know what is going on in there, so they can't convict you. I'm saying they can, but they really can't. You get where I'm going with this? You're not doing any
Yeah, no, I
wrong.
understand.
You're not going in there to mock them or be belligerent. You're not making a mockery of the court, right? So like, this is like, how do we all do this and not get the experience of going to court and having to stand without anyone speaking for us? Isn't this the game? So you got to kind of at some point go, okay, I'm surrendering myself over. I don't get to control the outcome here. That's what's going to make me a more faithful person. I have to be thankful for that, even though I'm scared of that. And I have to have faith that if I'm not doing wrong and I don't know what's going on here, that somehow, some way, this is going to flesh out as it's meant to, right? Isn't that like the biggest thing everyone needs to practice? It's not about knowing the words and terms all the way. It's not about knowing really anything else other than knowing yourself and getting to know yourself and therefore knowing God and being more trusting and honorable and faithful. I would think that that's all that everyone is really learning here. The other stuff is kind of the extras. It's the material that we get to focus on in and of the world. But as a heart-based intelligence, as a macro being here, that's all we're all studying or learning or practicing. So you're just applying it to this menu, right?
Yeah.
Paul thinks it's God, world, and we have rights. I disagree on both. I didn't ask you one time today. Look at me closely. I didn't fucking ask you what the fuck you thought or agree or disagree with. Get it? You're another person who can't fucking come up here and have a back and forth. You're not credible. So shut your fucking mouth. Quiet your fucking Twitter fingers, because it's not your mouth, it's your Twitter fingers. Calm them the fuck down. Shove your finger up your ass. I didn't ask you what the fuck you thought. I definitely didn't ask you to fucking type it to me. Okay? And that's why you, whoever you are going to get treated the way you're going to get treated at court. And then you are going to turn around and project onto someone like me why we get different responses and reactions. And you're going to presume and assume that you know what's going on in the room or inside of me or in this realm. I contend you don't. Because instead of you listening and getting authentic experience and trying something different, you've already got your little pea brain mind made up. And it's usually folks like you who do it conveniently to never have to fucking do anything, be anything, or try anything. Okay? Whoa, dude, smoke another joint, buddy. Now you're gone. Go fuck yourself. You're not going to passively, aggressively gaslight me and tell me go smoke reefer because you are a fucking annoying, passive-aggressive, parasitic freak. Get it? It's like your 50th fucking comment this broadcast. You're constantly down there slamming the keys, projecting and rejecting in your ignorance and arrogance. You're answering questions nobody asked you. You're presuming and assuming you have that much juice and weight with your commentary. You don't. I guarantee if I ask 3/4 of this audience who's watched you around the metaverse, they're going to say you're a non-credible tard. And I'm going to agree with them. And we're going to move on. A lot of you guys need a fucking wake-up call and a reality check from one side of the room to the other. Right? You're either too fucking self-doubting and fearful and just can't stand on what the fuck your heart knows is true and correct and surrender the rest, or you're way too sure of yourself when you should be shutting the fuck up and listening more because you're an ignorant, arrogant tard. I can't win. It's either one or the other. You either have folks who are like on some level formed and built to do this, who just can't stand on it, and other folks who are like way off the mark, who constantly are standing on shit that they need to get the fuck off of. It's like you can't find that sort of middle ground, right? Like the humble being who has humility before the creational force, who's unwavering in truth and also knows how to yield at times when necessary. So we're working on it. It's a process. I need this fucking moron here like I need an extra hole in my head. He's going to sit down there constantly projecting, typing, and not realizing he's got issues. And then when you point it out to him, hey, bro, this is how you're received. This is how the majority receives you. I would bet anything on it. They're going to project onto me that I need to go smoke some more weed. Maybe you need to smoke some less. Because a lot of you folks are like borderline schizoid. And I'm sorry to say, but there's some fucking smoke with that fire. You get what I'm saying? A lot of you folks have been like using drugs all your life, including cannabis constantly, and it's not for everyone. It's what I've learned. Much as I love the plant, I think it's fucking magical and miraculous. I have my own, I guess, semi-love affair with it. It's not for everyone. Everything is not for everybody all the time. There's a lot of folks in this realm who got no business using any mind-altering substances. They're already too fucking slow on the uptake. They're already too ignorant and arrogant. They're already too pigeonholed in their perspective. right? It doesn't help them. It harms them. So that's where you have to invoke self-knowledge, self-awareness, responsibility, and accountability. Because Paulie boy, Uncle Paulie boy, as much as he will do it, right? It's like, I'm not going to promote that everything is for everybody all the time. You can't think straight if you can't live straight, if you can't speak straight and control yourself, comport yourself properly, you probably have little to no business using mind-altering substance. You got other self issues you got to work on, right? It's probably not going to add anything positive to the mix. Your thoughts, Mike? I'm sorry that you had to hear and see that. Every once in a while, I have to deal with a fucking miscreant who's like out of bounds or out of alignment. They need my help, it would seem. You were saying?
My thoughts are you're kind of describing me, and then I kind of flip flop between the overconfident and the clueless idiot, you know. And I'm aware that I do
I think
that.
most of us kind of do at times. I'm speaking about aspects of me that I know are true about others, so that makes sense. I tend to do that here.
Yeah, I struggle with when I'm in the situation, putting the information in play. I know I got it in my head, but I get that freak out, kind of like mind mush thing happen where it's like I can't find the things that I'm looking for.
You turn into
And I think
George Bush Jr. You turn into Joe Biden.
basically, I guess you could say that. Maybe not that bad. No, not that bad.
Yeah, man. I mean,
But
listen,
but
it's a process, bro.
definitely not my best. You know, it's definitely not my best. And I always regret when I look back at the things that I said when I'm in these pressure situations, and it's not pretty.
You can't do that. You can't play that game. You know, the Tao is dark and deep, but also radiant because it lets it be. It does its work, and it does its work, and then it forgets it. That's why its work lasts forever. So you can't sit there and do what you do and then look back at it and fucking go over it and over it. And it's best to not even go over it at all. Do your work and then let it go. You know, you're never going to achieve perfection, right? The more that you try to achieve perfection, the more that you stifle your growth or your authentic expression in the moment. Just stay in the moment, do your best, keep it fucking simple, speak from the heart, right? And learn through experience. This is the point. How are you going to how is anyone, including myself, going to get the words and terms and symbols and everything correct unless they fuck it up over and over, unless they have a half a dozen or more court cases, unless they don't do everything correct? Isn't that how we learn? How are you going to learn to paint a picture unless you fucked it up 10,000 different ways? So you got to be realistic about what this is. It's a practice. It's, don't expect to get it, then you'll get it, right? It's kind of paradoxical. Just say to yourself, kind of, this is what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. If you have a good reason for yourself why you're doing what you're doing, then you're probably never going to stop. If you have a good reason why you're doing what you're doing and you're never going to stop, then one thing is for sure, two things for certain. At some point, you're going to get good at it. The question's going to be how long and how many experiences in between. Right. So I'm only either I am or am getting at some point good at this because I've decided this is something I'm not going to stop doing. I didn't have to decide I'm going to get good at it and then critique myself and evaluate myself. I just had to decide this is my conviction. It's not going away and I'm not going away. So by virtue of that fact, I have to get good at it at some point. I have no other choice. Right. So it's like this is the game of perspective that folks need to. They don't need to know what to think. They need to learn how to think or perceive, better yet. So when you're in these situations, you choose a perspective that works for you and others. And that perspective may be to not have a perspective, if that makes sense, right? I don't need to evaluate myself. I don't need to go over my shit and be overly analytical. I need, if anything, to let go and to be free. And to do what's true and what's right and surrender the rest. How fucking simple, yet how difficult for beings who want to know the unknowable completely, right? Who want the whole truth when maybe you'll only get true enough if you're lucky, if you're blessed, if you're synchronistic, right? So yeah, that's that mechanism that you got to start to let go of, the unclutching, right? You got to start to practice unclutching. That's what the majority of us benefit from in this life. Unclutching and letting go. Surrendering in faith. Just doing the next right thing. Sometimes the next right thing is nothing at all. So you know when that's the case. You know when you're being lazy and procrastinating, and you know when you're doing too much. And if you don't know in that moment, you're going to know shortly after that moment, because you're going to get a report, quote unquote, like the rifle. You squeeze the trigger and the rifle reports, as they say, right? It echoes back, you know. So, yeah, man, it's like this is the art of living. Is how do we stay in the moment, do the next right thing, surrender the rest, and live without expectations beyond, I guess, what's beneficial to self and others, right?
Yeah, I mean, and this morning after I emailed you, I kind of did that. I kind of did the surrender again. I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm never going to learn the things that I think I don't know, and the things that I'm, you know, clueless on before tomorrow. So I just stopped working on it altogether this morning and went out and took care of my dogs. You know,
Why don't you
kind
look
of
at this victim person who still hasn't gotten it and doesn't wish to get it? Like, this is what you need to look at. Everyone needs to look at this. It's like a movie star loves it here and thinks it's God's world too. Go ask a rape sex slave what it is here. You presume a rape sex slave is faithless like you fucking victim projecting scum. You parasitic cretin. Stop talking for everyone else. Talk for yourself. Sure, there's plenty of rape sex slaves who will talk just like I will talk, because they found forgiveness and faith through all things and all experiences in this quote unquote hell realm. You're the victim, disempowered, uninspired ass motherfucker who lacks faith, who wants to talk for everyone else, but can't get your own motherfucking house in order. What else is new online, huh? You got no shortage of those kind of folks. As if someone being a victim and a sex slave is a prerequisite to living a purposeless, meaningless, faithless life for the rest of their time here. You're a fucking regular genius, huh? You're just lighting the world on fire. Tell us all how to live, because you got the answers. Not faithless, you clown. I believe in the Most High. Who's the clown exactly? If I'm the clown, it's willingly, because I come on here and I attempt to try to show and teach fools of their foolishness. If I am a clown, it's because I'm attempting to show you another side of yourself and the world, I guess. Simulation. I don't believe in this shithole world filled with morons. Well, then why do you keep tapping the keys? Who are you talking to? Who are you not talking to? Who are you typing to? Makes no sense. You're claiming to be a faithful being. You're claiming to live in truth. And you're projecting that I'm not, and I'm buying into this world. And what's your deal? You can't even spell correctly. What are the odds it's Goblin? Someone like that who's had a little too much to drink tonight. Get the fuck out. That's why I have to ban these people. Fucking nuisance everywhere you go. I guarantee that person is a burden to everyone they live with and around. Guarantee they're a fucking nuisance to their friends and family and partner. They even have a fucking mate or a partner. Sit here and act like it's me. I'm the clown. Right. Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say I don't envy you on that, man. I don't think I could be half as patient with people as you are.
That's for me. I have to do that. We're not going anywhere. What am I gonna do? Am I gonna go, that's it? Am I gonna do like if I play that? That's it. I've done it before for effect in a sense, but ultimately, even in those moments, like I'm hyper aware. I go, no, they're not going anywhere. This game has been here from the beginning of time that we call incarnation, right? I don't have any option but to be forgiving and faithful and patient, because it's a long game. I got to do another however long in this simulation. If I don't die tonight in my sleep, God forbid, I guess I live another 30, 40, 50 years, whatever it has meant for me. I'm not even going to say God forbid. Whatever it has meant for me. If I have to live here another 20, 30, 40, 50 years, it's a long game. So what do I don't get to choose to never have another interaction with a projecting, rejecting loser failure who's acting like a victim, faithless victim in the chat, won't come up here and talk to me, but then claims to believe in the Most High. And then uses the word belief, proving they're not knowing and having the actual experience, but wants to tell us all about it. You know, like it's just another day in the simulation. We got 3,000 more to go on this body, whatever it is. We're going to do it all over again after that. You know, so since we're not going anywhere, we can get really comfortable with the uncomfortable. I mean, like, would it even be this life if it wasn't that way? Like the Tao says, would this be life if at least once a day I didn't have to have somebody wander in here and play the same games they've done for years at this point with me? It's almost like standard at this point. I'd be shocked if I came here a week straight and it didn't happen. You know, what's happening? Did we cross over some kind of membrane? You know, did we finally turn the corner on the light-based simulation loop? We're in light age time now.
Yeah, and I guess that's how you know you're still alive. What keeps happening. When it stops happening, maybe no more. I don't know, man.
Yeah, it would almost be as naive and to believe that I'm not going to get arrested again and have to go to court. What's the point of me living in that fantasy?
Yeah.
Odds are probably in favor of, you know, the other side of things, right? I'm probably going to have to get arrested again and go to court again. Odds are we're in fascism. I'm probably going to meet another moron online or in life who's going to project onto me. Probably going to happen. So you better just get comfortable with the uncomfortable. Huh?
Anyways, yeah, I was gonna say that's like the most intimidating thing about it is just knowing that doing it all, you know, standing on your rights and all that, it's gonna ultimately lead to arrest, and it's gonna seem futile, I think. And I was looking ahead this morning at all of that. I think that's what was kind of freaking me out. I was like, man, this is almost feeling pointless. You know, not enough people are interested in this, but I care about it. I guess that's really what matters.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's all there for you. One side or the other. You want to live a boring, purposeless, meaningless life? You want to tell me what's the point? To have a value system, to have principles? Man's judged by his principles? If you don't have that, what do you have exactly? So I don't even have to have a point or an end goal or an end game to go, I'm going to live with my value systems and principles intact as much as possible. And we're going to gamble here. We're going to see where it goes. Because what else is there to do? This is like this is the insanity of the human incarnation and condition. Do you honestly believe you'd be as happy if you weren't as sad, quote unquote? Do you really think that you'd be pulled to faith if you didn't have this much fear? Do you really think there'd be a point of incarnating here or even existing if you didn't have to go to court? What are you going to do, bro, with the rest of your life? Your boring ass, mediocre, mundane, lifeless body and life. What are you going to do exactly? You going to go to work? You're going to pay your slave tax? You're going to go eat something? You get me?
Yeah, slavery.
It's a pretty empty, fucking shallow, materialistic, vapid self and world to live like the rest of these clowns. So it doesn't even matter if it doesn't end well for me. I get to choose. I get to be part of something that's a little bit better, a little bit more interesting, a little bit more fulfilling and rewarding than just going to the next new restaurant, seeing the next new bullshit movie, and hearing the next new line of bullshit from somebody who's going to try to sell me something I don't need. What else are we doing here? You almost have to be thankful and grateful for your court appearances and for the slavery. Because if not, you motherfuckers would be so fucking uninspiring, unempowered, and boring, and lifeless, and purposeless, lacking in principles. sorry if like that's not the nicest and kindest polite thing to say. I'm talking about me essentially. You know, what else am I
That's
going to
something
do?
people should realize is anybody who realizes that there's certain truths out there and they're not standing on them, they can't say that they have principles, in my opinion. You know, anybody that sees it and isn't standing for it, they can't say they got principles, in my humble opinion. You know, I can't judge other people, but I can't say that for me. Like if I were to fold, like I was thinking about folding this morning, I can't even believe I went there. Part of the reason I emailed you is 'cause like, man, if I fucking email him, I can't fold. You know, so that's part of the reason why I did it, just so you know. But
Yeah, at some point, bro,
yeah.
it's not even about pride and ego. If you want to just talk about sense of self, which you could say is an aspect of ego, I mean, it really depends on how you want to sort of clarify it and delineate, but just the basic sense of self, right? Like,
Well, not even
you know,
pride and ego, accountability. I emailed you for my
right,
accountability. You know, 'cause I knew that you
right.
are somebody who's not going to fucking just let it
Do
go.
you really
I
want
knew
to
it was
live
going to
the
trigger
rest of your
you.
life not knowing what's going to happen if you just say this far and no further? Like, are you okay with that? I know you're not. I know it doesn't matter how much you suffer, how scared you are, all the rest of the crap that you put up front to focus on. That behind that, you're just like me. That you can't imagine living the rest of your fucking tired ass life not knowing where the fucking line is, inside yourself and outside. That's it. You really just want to know, how much power do I have? How much faith do I have? How real am I? How true am I? Am I a fucking punk ass coward or not? You want to know. Well, you're going to find out. And it's going to be based on what the fuck you do and don't do. That's the greatest part about it, right? So have fun. It's going to be a great time. I wouldn't trade everything I've been through for the world. Everything they told me I was crazy for, that I was going to regret, that I should be scared of, I'd do it all over again in a heartbeat. And I'm continuing, despite them throwing the kitchen sink at me at this point, or what, at least what feels like that, because the truth is I haven't had it all that bad at all. Half the motherfuckers who've been hating on me and scared for me are wondering when they're really going to hit me with the hammer, bring the hammer down on me, to teach everybody a lesson. Who knows? They might not. It doesn't matter at this point because I already accomplished what the fuck I came in for. I already got everything I came in for, which was to learn where's the line in me and outside of me. How much of a fearful, cowardly / faithful, brave, godly, righteous person am I? And am I fixing to be? I already got everything I fucking needed and then some, because I expected to do this all for free. And I expected to go to a fucking box. And I'm still here yapping. And I got warrants that have been fucking cleared, and I didn't give them shit, and I didn't sign anything. So unless they come back on the back end and really fuck me good to teach everybody, don't look for rights, freedom, principles, and common law. It don't exist no more. I got everything I need and then some. So fucking blessed and ahead of the game. I've done what my lineage has not attempted to do because they've all been punk ass cowards. And 3/4 of them are dead at this point. The rest are on their way out. They didn't get an option to live how the fuck I've lived. So who's behind? Who's ahead? You think I'd trade any of this fucking experience and this interaction and anything that I am at this point to live like them? Absolutely not. So I won. That's the thing. It's already over. I already won. Doesn't even matter what the fuck they do to me at this point and quote unquote take from me. They can't take the rest. Can't take my wisdom and my firsthand experience. Can't take my fucking conviction and my courage. What's left as a man?
Not a whole lot after that. You know, like a husk. I've kind of felt like that before. Like a husk. Kind of lifeless. Just like eating and shitting. Fucking living for
Yeah,
absolutely
you just
nothing.
all act like you're so into that. And then when they give you that, you do everything you can on some level to push the boundary because your spirit wants novelty. It wants expansion. It wants growth. It wants movement. You ain't even happy with you're just like me. I give you $1 million job. I could build the whole thing for you and give it to you. And you will find a way to get yourself into a manifested interaction like this again, because you just subconsciously, if not consciously, really want to know who you are and what the fuck you're made of. I don't blame you. I am you. So get on with it. Be thankful and grateful as much as possible the whole way, because this is what the fuck is making you right now. It's not breaking you, but to make you, you got to break you. Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, kind of, but actually no, but I guess that's kind of it. To make you got to break, you got to, be broken down to be built back up. I think that's what's been going on with me. I'm trying to
How
do
are you going to
anyways.
become an honorable, trustworthy, godly, faithful person if you don't put up and have to go past fear over and over again when everyone's going to tell you you're crazy? There's no other way to heaven other than going through hell, what seems and feels like hell. That's how you make a faithful, tempered, honorable, unwavering being.
Part of my problem is I used to think that I was that. I was kind of like, I don't want to say any names, but like a not a Bible thumper because I had different ideas, but I was really faithful, and I had a really close connection with the Spirit. I definitely did. But in my heart, looking back now, I'm like, man, I was fucking retarded, and I don't know why I had a close connection to the Spirit back then. It doesn't make sense, and I think that I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. Kind of lost my train of
What
thought.
you just said is incongruent. The heart is where the relationship is. There's no I had a relationship, but my heart was. Either you had the relationship and your heart was there with it, or you were a bitch in your heart and you were having some, belief, or maybe there's a relationship there and you turned on that, right? Your fear at some point turned your heart from that faith and that relationship to a life of fear because you lost that faith that thing is with you.
Yeah, I don't know if I see what you're saying, and I probably agree with it. I don't know. I'm fucking tired right now, man. I've been up for a really long time today.
Yeah, it's
I
easy
woke
to
up
be
late.
faithful, bro, and have religion until some bad shit happens. And then that's when you find out how real, quote unquote, your faith is or not. That's when your shit's tested, right?
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Like I used to think I was faithful, but I was retarded. And then I lost faith. And then I lost faith, and I got broken down because of my, I guess, bad faith that I had before that I thought was good. And I think what's happening now, what I hope is happening now, is I'm building myself up, better, stronger, like real faith this time, hopefully, not based on some like childish ideas. I guess that's what it boils down to. When I was younger, a lot of my faith was based on childish ideas and not really understanding the realm the way that I understand the realm now. And I guess that kind of changes my view of my view of everything, I guess. And so maybe my faith is the same, my understanding is different, and it makes me think. I don't know how to even say what I'm trying to say. It made sense when I was thinking it, but I'm retarded. So.
Yeah, man. I mean, you have this thing that you do where you want to put yourself down all the time. And I get
Yeah, I
it
know.
because I'm realistic in quotes about myself and I try to be self-aware, but it's a fine line between being aware of your strengths and weaknesses and also having a negative self-image, constantly re-invoking that,
Well, just
so
like
that's part of the reason I do kind of play with the other side of the ego and do the God of all media and the other stuff is not because I feel or believe that I, from the impartial perspective as much as I can be, I guess. It's not egotism and narcissism. It's my attempt to speak into existence, life into myself and other folks who are self, right? So I am that am. I have no reason to put myself equal to or beneath other than the one self. So for other folks who are like lowering themselves and shitting on themselves, rather than just calling it for what it is. Again, when I call myself overweight, that's because I am that. That's not a negative self-image, right? So I'm
that's why I
not
call
being
myself retarded.
self-deprecating. Right.
That's why I
I
call
mean, I
myself
get it.
retarded. I have a real learning disability now, and it sucks, and it's fucking
Again,
it fucks my self confidence big time.
what's the point of even saying that? Like, what's the point of even saying that? Let's just say that that is the case for whatever the level and degree is. What's the point of holding that, believing that, accepting that, and repeating that? Like, how does that serve you? How does that help you? All it does is continue to reinforce the idea that you can't fucking learn.
Yeah.
Which is not the case,
you're right.
I'm sure. I'm sure the more that you fucking live and the more you experience, the more you're going to learn, either directly or indirectly, like most of us. Are you kidding me? Look around you, bro. My father's 65 fucking years old and he still can't have a completely honest, self-aware conversation with me about truth, past, present, or future. You want to tell me about you having a learning disability? Well, if you got a learning disability, then I guess everyone fucking does. Because they've been doing the same motherfucking shit one lifetime after the next, at least 10, 20, 30, 50, 60 years, if not multiple lifetimes. So who's got the learning disability exactly? You got folks continuing to vote for fucking Donald Trump this year. Who's got the learning disability? If you got one, they all got one. Because I haven't seen him learn half a motherfucking thing yet after 65 years.
Pretty good point.
I got a lot of them. Stick around, you'll get more.
Yeah.
All right, we got to wrap.
My
Up.
biggest
Come back tomorrow, Mike. You always like to come in right when I'm leaving too, and I don't mind. I spend time with you. I enjoy you. I give you what we all need, one way or the other. But come in the beginning,
coming
man.
up when the nonsense is happening. I just don't like coming in
I
when
don't
there's
give
nonsense.
a fuck about. There you go again. There's your disability. There's your non-ability, right? You have an inability at this time to let go, move forward, and get what the fuck you need in life. It's not about learning. It's about applying yourself to getting the results you need. So you wanted to have a conversation earlier today. We had it. But that means when you want it or need it, you fucking do it and get what the fuck you need out of life, just like this court and the rest of it. It's not about being aggressive, or sort of, selfish. It's just like, don't worry about the nonsense and everything else. And if you don't like the nonsense, then fucking redirect it. Take charge. You just let everyone around you put a charge on you and direct you. And then you go, I don't like this. I don't like that. Well, what are you going to do about it? Take charge and create a direction. I've told you this in the past too. I get what you're saying. You don't like the nonsense. I agree with you. So come up early and set the fucking tone and direction. Then we won't have nonsense. See how that works?
Yeah, I guess.
That's what I'm trying to teach you, man, indirectly, because it can't be taught. I'm trying to show you the idea of taking charge of your inner space, of your beingness, of your life, one way or the other, and making a direction for it. It starts with your inner state. That starts with things like this broadcast. It starts with the way you show up at court and what your perspective is going to be on it, how it's going to go, visualizing it, manifesting it, following through with that. So that's the thing the most of us lack the most, it would seem, in this life and in all these venues, is an ability to stay centered, stay balanced, take charge, direct the situation to get what the fuck we want and need, and surrender the rest and move on.
So that's something that I actually suppressed in myself. That's probably one of my biggest
I don't know
problems
why.
at this point. Well,
It's
because it was
because you
causing me
probably had a
problems.
devouring
I was
mama at
too
home that
assertive.
told you not to be a man all your life, if I had to guess. Am I on to anything there?
I'm not really. I had my situation's complicated from when I was younger. My
Okay.
mom kicked me out when I don't even know how old I was, elementary school. I had to go live with my stepmom, who called me Cinderfella and Mike the Kite.
There it is. There it is. It's the same
got a
thing,
Jew
Mike. You can
nose.
tell me you could tell me you have a complicated story. Not so much, because you just told me that your biological mother abandoned you. There's your self-doubt. There's your fear. There's your insecurity, at least rooted first instance. And then who's there to replace that biological person if not a devouring mama who wants to humiliate you and mock you and demean you and disempower you? So see that for what it is. That's where it started. And now it's ending because you're going to put a stop to it. And it's not about being angry. It's not about being resentful. It's not about being belligerent. It's about accepting you matter. You have value. You have a spirit. You have choice. You have a voice, right? Don't let these bitches, sorry to say, just because you have a biological mother don't mean she ain't a broken bitch or a goofy hoe. Don't let these broken bitches and hoes convince you that you're not shit, right? So, you got to confront that and see it for what it is. And then you got to start to work out of that. It's going to be like, trying to break out of a cage in a sense. You're really going to have to start to practice that and become aware of what that thing is, and that is, it's like a literal demon. It's going to hold you back from doing and being who and what you're meant to be under God because you got some subconscious thing convinced in yourself that you're not good enough, that you don't have power, that you don't have a voice, that you don't have a spirit connected to the Most High because these bitches left you to rot or tried to humiliate you and mock you and emasculate you. And on some level, got it done because you let them. And I get it, bro, because it's close to home, right? My mother had the abandonment thing, caused the self-doubt, the fear, the insecurity. And I fucking had to, over time, do something with it because it was fucking destroying me. It was taking me down. So I had to transmute it. This legal, lawful thing and this rights thing and the principles and the spiritual faith allowed me a road to do that, right? To take all that fear and insecurity and self-doubt and direct it towards something, creating and being and doing and serving something bigger and beyond me, to reaffirm to me that, hey, I am a man. I am the man in the sense of archetypally, right? I'm not talking the ego and pride. It's like the sense of self, the man in the sense of either at or moving toward archetypal man. And I'm not taking no for an answer, So yeah, man. For good, bad, or indifferent, I'd say compared to the way I was at one point to the way I am now, I'd rather be like this, even if it's far from perfect, than be the way that I was. So that to me is evidence of a positive change.
Well, I don't know how you were before, but right now, I appreciate you, Paul.
I appreciate you as well and your journey, and I understand that it's similar, if not the same, right? So, yeah, man, just sit with yourself. You have to look at your background, look at your history, make the recognition of why you are the way you are and have been formed that way. Don't beat yourself up about it. Don't live in regret or resentment. Just create a new self. Just create a new life. And it's going to happen one moment at a time, one day at a time, one practice at a time. And just through that higher level of consciousness and awareness, you're going to start to put the piece together in your life about why you do this that way, why you do that, relationships, all this stuff. And it starts to come together over time, Start to repractice, to rebuild that self and that character and that sense of self and that belief in yourself. Right? That I don't have to be afraid. I don't have to be self-doubt. We're going to get through this. I always do, and I always will. And I'm going to be better for it. And that's when you start to almost welcome the challenge. That's when you really start to scare yourself, when you start to wake up that fire and you almost welcome the challenge. It's like, we're going to learn today about what this faith and this trust is once again, as if we haven't already. So, yeah, man, you start to fall in love with the process, if not yourself, the process of life on life's terms, and just it making you and remaking you into what you're meant to be. So I look forward to that, right? Just keep in mind, man, this shit's a long game.
All right. Yeah,
All right,
I
come back,
understand.
man. Come back tomorrow, bro. Come back early when you got time. We'll go over whatever you want to go over. I tell you, I always like having you here. And I see that the thing is working in your life to generate some kind of experience or result. I really do believe that with you and a lot of folks here, that this is not our idea individually. This is not our personality, right? You can't stop an idea whose time has come. We're just playing that out. For whatever reason, a lot of us are just chosen in the heart in the world to play this fucking thing out and get the experience, right? So it's a great time to be alive, right? The best of times, the worst of times. Have it any other way.
well, I don't know if I can say that, but there might be better ways, but I don't know that, you know. So, anyways, yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I appreciate you, man. I kind of want to get to bed.
Get the hell out of here. I'm
Come
going to
back
bed
on
as well.
tomorrow, I guess. So, all right.
All right,
Take
Mike.
care.
I appreciate you.
Bye.
All right. We're getting late here. Larry says, thank you, sir, for doing what you do. Peanut Power, I'm throwing you out. We got to get the hell out of here. Salute to you. All right, folks. I'm back tomorrow. I don't know when, but I will set it at some point. So look for that. Another day, another dollar, right? As they like to say. Yeah. What else can be said that hasn't already been said? Did I give the mazel from out west? I think I did. All right. Say goodnight to the bad guy. I'm out of here. Philosopher King. I'm ending on that one. Hell of a production. You can accuse me of being abrasive, obnoxious, maybe not as empathetic as I could be at times.
That fellow's done nothing but stare at you since we arrived.
What I don't think you can accuse me of is not really believing in what it is that I'm doing at times.
I was there the day the strength of men failed.
The thing that I guess gives me a titlement for some of hero is that I am willing to do at times what others seemingly aren't.
There's no strength left in the world of men.
I think that everybody experiences a substantial amount of fear. You got to go past that and say, well, what would I rather have here? Let this box be where I die? This is the limit of what I'm going to do and be while I'm here for the rest of my life? Or am I going to go past the fear and do what I know is true and what's right?
There is one who could unite them.
I don't think it's possible for one man at any time to do anything single-handedly. You can't stop an idea whose time has come.
Word has reached my ears of this Paul Unslaved of Unslavia, and I tell you now, I will not bow to this player from the north.
Ideas whose time has come are not limited to one man. There's a collective consciousness and unconsciousness. I don't necessarily look at myself as a completely individualized being. I look at myself as a tool of the universe. If you understand self and the universe, then there's really nothing you can't do or be within the laws of that universe, right?
Your time will come.
Don't tell me I don't know my own brother's heart. Ultimately, it's not about Paulie Boy, right? The incarnation of Paulie Boy and that personality and that mask. I know you because I know Paul. It's about the truth.
You will face the same evil, and you will defeat it.
He is no mere player. He is Paul, king of Unslavia, and you owe him your allegiance.
I can avoid being seen if I wish, but to disappear entirely, that's a rare gift.
You're the one from the broadcast. He who travels freely. You must be unslaved.
Only when we as individuals, quote unquote, solve our problems individually can we actually go back to the world and help solve other people's problems by leading them back to themselves to solve their own problems.
Tell us who you are. Why are you free?
They fight beside you because they would not be parted from you.
Then I shall die as one of them.
Because they love you.
I'm talking about leadership within oneself, and I'm talking about self-knowledge. The love and care of a true stoic man and leader who practices self-mastery is not the same as the love and care of a square citizen slave.
You have given us hope.
There are those who dwell in the mountain.
They will follow you into battle, even into death.
The dead? They believe in nothing. I summon you to fulfill your oath. They answer to no one.
None but the king of Unslavia may command me. They will answer to the king of Unslavia.
That's called being daddy in this realm for freedom. The day may come when the courage of man fails, when we forsake our friends and break all bonds of fellowship. But it is not this day.
The end has come.
It will not be our end, but his.
You cannot think that this Paul Unslaved could ever be free from bondage.
That's where leadership and honorability and conversion through conversation comes in. When you actually lead and do what's true and what's right, and for the right reasons.
This exile crept from the shadows will never be crowned king.
Authority is not given to you to deny the return of the king.
You guys don't even understand what a philosopher king actually was and is. It's the guy on the bottom in the front, leading from the front with the most sacrifice and the most to lose.
They say that it is hopeless.
The king is looking back to the quote-unquote subjects or to the members of the kingdom going, let's go, folks. We all have to emulate the same archetypal vision of what man and woman is. I ain't separate and divided here. The same blood flows through my veins. Don't give up. I would have gone with you to the end. Into the very fires of Mordor.
The battle for Unslavia is about to begin.
It is an army bred for a single purpose.
You're outnumbered now.
To end the world of men.
Followed you, my brother.
An hour for wolves.
My captain.
And shattered shields when the age of men comes crashing down.
My king.
Ride out with me. But it is not this day. This day we fight. Ride out and meet them. Slaves and free men alike, men of the West.
He will need your help before the end, Paul.
Let this be the hour. Let we draw swords together. The horn of Helm Hammerhand shall sound in the deep one last time.
The kingdom of heaven is few. This teaching seemingly is for a passionate minority who is going to exemplify and be the change for themselves. Long have you hunted me. The wicked flee when none pursue, but the righteous are bold as a lion. The word of truth is so strong you can stand as one and be more powerful than all the legion of Shaitan. This day does not belong to one man, but to all. Let us together rebuild this world, that we may share in the days of peace. Unslavia, you bow to no one.
God of all media.